tonight.
But frankly, that's the big headline we take away is shame on the Detroit Pistons. You're at home. It's a 9-point game with 3 minutes to go in regulation, and James Harden is giving you the basketball game, as he does in the fourth quarter of playoff games, in key playoff games. Donovan Mitchell didn't hit a three until what? He missed his first 7 3-point attempts in this game. He's 1 of 8 from 3, 7 of 18 from the floor. And you don't figure out as a 1 seed to win this game. It was shame on you, Detroit, for being down 3-1 to the 8th seed in round 1. But even more shame on you to be up 2-0 in the series and really to blow this game tonight.
Is it really shame on you? We've known this about the Detroit Pistons all year. That's what the narrative was going into the postseason.
But don't try to make this about Cleveland,
because I know
it's about Detroit.
Because I didn't know Cleveland had this gear in them. They hadn't won a road game for the entirety of the postseason. They've looked like two different basketball teams, home and away. So to see them tonight go into hostile territory, get into a game that was chock full of runs, and then ultimately come out on top, I'm buying the Cavs right now. They look good. This is a group that looks like they're ready to go close it out at home next game. This was the big monkey that they had to get off of their back. Could they win on the road? Their ceiling, when the Pistons are playing their best brand of basketball and the Cavs are playing their best brand of basketball, Cleveland's the better team. It is more equipped to deal with New York potentially in the Eastern Conference Finals.
There is a distinction between these two things. Winning a basketball game and losing one. Detroit lost this basketball game. Cleveland did not win it.
That's one way to look
Cleveland,
at
by
it.
the way, is going to win the game. It's 117-111 with 3 seconds to go. Cleveland has to win one more game, but Detroit deserves to go home after just 3 losses. Deserves to go home because of how it handled itself in round 1, how it handled itself now in round 2, up 2-0, where guys like Lynnell Willingham are saying the series is over after 2 games, and probably rightfully saying that. And now Detroit is trailing the series 3-2. As a 1 seed, this is more about Detroit than it could possibly be about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jalen Duren officially has been played off the floor in the playoffs. 9 points, only played 25 minutes. He was minus 16. He can't even be on the floor. There's a conversation, Lynnell, about, who your second scorer is, and we've talked about that, but you can't even play this dude in the playoffs. An absolute train wreck disaster. Don't let anybody try to tell you this any different. Cleveland didn't win the game. Detroit lost it. A disaster, up 9 with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and you do not win this game, and you're up 2-0 in the series, and now you're trailing 3-2, facing elimination on the road. A train wreck dumpster fire.
Yes, and we also got to give Cleveland a little bit of credit, but the bigger point to what we've been talking about the Pistons all postseason. We've been talking about Jalen Duren since round 1. He has yet to show up this postseason at all. His numbers have been sliced in half. To where, what the hell is J.B. Bickerstaff supposed to do? Continue to play him? I mean, this has been the case. He got outplayed by Wendell Carter. In the last 3 games, because in the first 2 games of the series, he was okay in the first 2 games in Detroit. But the last 3 games here where we've seen Cleveland take a stranglehold on the series, in this game in particular, you saw the scoring and the playmaking for Evan Mobley, come to life. Like, that front court of Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, they should have an advantage there. And that's why I think they go on to win the rest of the series. It's those guys. James Harden's going to be James Harden, like you said. It's the full James Harden experience. I like that on the road, on a night where Donovan Mitchell's shot wasn't falling early on, you were able to win this basketball game. Max Strus deserves a ton of credit coming off the bench doing what he did. His NBA career story is incredible when you think about what he's had to overcome from an injury standpoint. But this goes back to what we said months ago when James Harden was acquired by the Cleveland Cavaliers. This group, when they're playing their best basketball, is one of the better teams in the East, better than Detroit for sure, who is the disgusting 1 seed, the big bad 1 seed. I would much rather see them in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks than Detroit. They would have no shot against New York. I give Cleveland a puncher's chance because of what they have in the front court.
Shoot them both into the sun. Shoot them both. Hate watching both these teams play basketball, rightfully so. I got to see James Harden's ugly mug on my screen with a stat line winning a playoff game, 8 of 21 from the field. And you're down 9 with 3 minutes to go. And here's the thing. Are we going to go as far to say that this series is over? No.
Well, I said that after the last game, so I'm already there.
Well, can't do it. Can't do it because neither of these teams can be trusted. Are you kidding? Like, again, if you want to play the let's give them credit game, like Detroit was trailing 62-38 at halftime of a closeout game on the road in Orlando, and then outscored them 53-17 or whatever, 53-19. Like, this Detroit does dumb things, like falling behind how they did, but then coming back to win the game. Putting faith in Donovan Mitchell and James Harden to close out a series seems like a fool's errand. No clue what's going to happen in Game 6.
I mean, you got to pick somebody. You got to pick somebody.
You don't. You do. Someone's got to win the game. I don't have to pick them. There is wisdom in saying the following words. I don't have a damn clue. And I'm not going to pretend. I'm not. Because I trust neither of these teams. I think they're both undeserving of being Eastern Conference Finals teams. And I have no clue what's going to happen in Game 6 based on what we just watched the last half hour. Based on what you saw the last half hour makes you any level of confidence
I'm not looking at just the past half hour. They've now won 3 consecutive games in this series, Josh. They have taken
after Detroit won how many games in a row?
2.
Five.
I'm talking about in this series. I'm talking about what we've seen. And the big thing that I talked about when they won the last game is the pressure that you're seeing defensively now from Cleveland. They can't and won't protect the basketball to save their lives, right? Like, that's the big issue here. But I thought defensively they've been a lot better. James Harden, say what you want about the turnovers. Defensively, when it's point of attack and he's not getting blown by, he gives you effort. Gives you more than what he gave you in the first couple of games. We know he's not a plus defender. But what you've seen here over the past 3 games is, to use one of my phrases, their give-a-damn level, it seems like, on that end of the floor has ratcheted up. They're playing better defense. The one thing that's going to bite them in the ass, it feels like, watching it, they have some of the most maddening turnovers that you'll ever see. How many times are you going to try to move the ball from the top of the key to the wing and not expect Asar Thompson to shoot the gap? They've turned it over that way 6 or 7 times every game this series. And it's maddening as hell to watch. I'll give you that. But they found a way to do it, Josh. Like, you get credit for me when you come back and rally back the way that they did several times throughout the course of this game. On the road, in hostile territory, you haven't won a road playoff game yet. Everything's coming up Detroit. Everything was coming up Detroit. But when it mattered, the guy that you say, is folded in the playoffs, and he has. Their whole team is folded in the playoffs over the past 2-3 seasons. But tonight, when they needed to, they came together and they pulled out a gutsy win on the road. And now, all the pressure's on Detroit. All of the pressure is on Detroit. Because guess what Cleveland just showed? That they can come in a gotta-have-it situation and win on the road for the first time this postseason.
You said it. Cleveland's at home. That doesn't mean all the pressure's on Detroit. The pressure's on
Cleveland. It does, because if they lose, they go home. That's why all the pressure's on Detroit.
Donovan Mitchell never been to the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's not pretend that Cleveland isn't going to face any pressure. And again, they're the Cavalier choke artists here, like all over and over again. Like, Detroit blew it, but they blew 2 games in the Raptors series that they should have won in catastrophic fashion as well. So there's nothing. It's not just based on past years. It's even in these playoffs, which, again, this is a game lost. It feels like whoever wins this series will not have won the series. It will be one of these teams lost it. That's how it feels watching it, which normally you don't have that reaction in watching a playoff series, but that was just pure vomit, what we saw in the final.
It wasn't sexy
8
or
minutes.
fun to watch, I would say. But like you
Vomit.
don't get revved
Basketball
up
vomit.
down the stretch watching. This
I'm
was the part
disgusted.
that I got geeked up about. Think about the energy of the Detroit crowd when they're up 9 with 2 minutes left, and you slowly but surely hear the air get let out of the balloon. And that building gets more and more quiet, and then you see the confidence grow at Cleveland. Like, that's the stuff that sports is made of for me, man. Like, that was awesome to watch. I'm glad they got it out the way.
That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. Denton Day, the producer of this program. We've got Oliver taking your calls, 310-840-4910. As a reminder, tomorrow night, it is Westwood One's NFL schedule release show. Learn when all the marquee games will take place, including all the primetime matchups that you're going to hear on our network throughout the year. The show is going to be hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, with Super Bowl champion and Seahawks star Leonard Williams among the lineup of guests joining. Don't miss it. Tomorrow night, 8 to 10 p.m., and then catch our show right here on Westwood One Sports. And speaking of the NFL, there was actually some significant NFL news regarding one of the league's most electric talents that you might have missed amidst the basketball. And we'll pose the question to you. 310-840-4910. Did Cleveland win this game, or did Detroit lose it? 310-840-4910. All of that next on Westwood One Sports Night.
Tomorrow night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26. Hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. What's your team's toughest stretch? And where are the wins? We'll tell you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Cleveland 117, Detroit 113 in overtime to take a 3-2 series lead with a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals in their grasp now as they return home. That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. I feel so rude because I feel like I need to introduce myself to Lynnell. How sporadic it's been since we've been together. I was on vacation in Asheville last week, and now I'm back and in this chair. And how about all of our sports teams at the same time doing so well, or at least being in the news? Your Wizards have the number 1 pick in the draft. Jaden Daniels is featured on the Netflix show, quarterback. That's a great thing, maybe, possibly.
Life is good right now in the world of a DC sports fan, is what I would say.
For those watching on YouTube and on X, you might notice that there's the Smile and Bird logo on my shirt, which must mean one thing, that the Baltimore Orioles got a win today, beating the New York Yankees 2 out of 3. No better feeling than that. 7-0 beating the Yankees. The Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in hockey. Haven't lost a game, and they're just chilling, waiting for the Montreal. They're chilling just like the New York Knicks are, just waiting for whoever their Eastern Conference Finals opponent is going to be. But Lynnell, nobody, not James Harden, not Lynnell Willingham, not Josh Graham, had as good of a day as Devon Achane did down in Miami.
Devon Achane.
Devon Achane just got paid. And this is the part where you need to help me out.
I'll try my best.
Do the Miami Dolphins think they're good? Because they're acting like a team that thinks they're good.
See, when even when you said this to me earlier, like I don't get how signing Achane, one of your core pieces, one of the most explosive weapons in all the National Football League, keeping him in your building during the prime of his career, I don't think that's some, hey, we think we're ready to win now decision. I think that's ensuring that the quarterback that you just signed has at least somebody hanging around with him for the next 2 seasons, as Devon Achane was slated to be an unrestricted free agent. And you don't want to get into the franchise tag game. Breece Hall just got paid in New York with the Jets, so the market at the running back position is working itself out. And I think they got a pretty good deal on a guy who is one of the most electric dudes in the sport. So, like, I like the move. I think you need – he's a guy that when you're ready to compete, maybe that's 2 seasons from now, he's going to be in the fold for you in the midst of his prime. Like, why would you not want to have a guy like that around?
Let me outline the case. The Miami Dolphins are setting themselves up for mediocrity. That's what they're doing with the way they're building things right now. Whether they know it or not, Miami has no shot this year. Not with Buffalo and New England in their division, not with a first-year head coach, not with a first-year GM, not with Tua's dead cap hit, not when you're paying a non-rookie quarterback, not when you're handing the bad to Devon Achane. Like, you're not winning this year. But with the combo of Malik Willis and Devon Achane getting some deals here and being on the team, they are just good enough to miss out on the top-tier talent that you can only get through the draft. See, this is PTSD for yours truly. I'm based in North Carolina. Let me use the Carolina Panthers earlier this decade as an example. In 2020, Carolina hired Matt Rule to be their coach. One of his first moves, let's move on from the quarterback that was here. Let's completely turn the page to someone else. Here's this likable guy who had some spot starts as a backup that we're going to get on a 3-year deal. It's not Malik Willis, obviously. It's Teddy Bridgewater in this case. And then, our biggest star is one of the most electric players in the sport, a multifaceted running back named Christian McCaffrey, who they extended that summer. Here were the results that followed. 5-11, then 5-12, then 7-10. And that gave them, Lynnell, the 8th pick, the 7th pick, and then the 8th pick that they later turned into the number 1 pick, giving up 2 future firsts in order to go from number 8 to number 1. And the reason they had to do that is they were never bad enough that they got one of those top picks where you get generational players. And ahead of next year's generational draft, you should expect the Dolphins are going to go 6-11, miss out on the top QBs, and miss the chance to rebuild properly. Because the part where you and I disagree, it's philosophical. Bad teams should not be paying running backs. They are luxury items like sports cars. You shouldn't buy a Lambo when you're struggling to keep the lights on.
When you're a difference maker, like Devon Achane is, I get wanting to have him around in your building. This is where I think we totally disagree and where I think you missed the mark. This is not comparable to that Carolina situation because of the contract that Sam Darnold got his 5th-year option exercised. There was never this financial commitment that Carolina gave to him.
Well,
why?
About Bridgewater. Because Bridgewater was first. They signed him to a 3-year contract.
Different, though, right? Because this group that paid Malik Willis knows Malik Willis inside and out. I think it's a way more calculated risk, and I think what Malik Willis showed you in his brief sample size is a lot more upside than what Teddy Bridgewater was giving the Carolina Panthers at that point. Like, Miami is looking at Malik Willis like he can be their quarterback of the future. They're giving him the runway.
Him that way?
They're giving because he hasn't earned that. They're giving him the runway and the opportunity, though, by way of a starting opportunity to play to earn that, to where 2 years down the line from now, his deal looks like a mega bargain. I don't think Miami is doing this the wrong way. I actually love the way that their team built it. They knew Jalen Waddle had value. Wasn't a guy that fit their timeline. What did they do? Go acquire a first-round pick for him. If you go look back at what Miami did in the draft, like their first couple of hits totally knocked it out of the park. Love what they have. They got some foundational, building blocks that should help them get out of the abyss that they're in. But I will say this, and being a Commanders fan, I can speak to this. I don't think that anybody in the nation's capital thought Washington was going to go to the NFC Championship game when Dan Quinn was hired. So the one thing I will not do, especially after watching Mike Vrabel last year, watching Mike McDonald in year 1 in Seattle, when you hire a new head coach and he gets to breathe life into an organization, the expectations that me and you have, they don't matter. They go out of the window. Because it's Jeff Hafley's job to get the Dolphins and everybody in that building to buy in and to get the absolute most out of them. Who knows what that ultimately turns into? I differ from a lot of other sports personalities out there because I don't believe in the Patriots worth a damn this year. I don't. And I think they're going to get curb stomped in the season opener by the Seattle Seahawks. So that division to me, there's one team clearly at the top in Buffalo, and I think everybody else is fighting for second place, including the defending AFC champions.
No, I'm with you on that. I don't think they're better than Buffalo. I think they're going to take a step back. They had a last place schedule last year, and now you get a first place schedule, which is
you got to play a real
things.
team.
It starts with the opener, which we can talk about in just a few minutes, learning about that today. So with you on that, but making this about Miami, this isn't a knock on Achane, just like it wasn't a knock on the Arizona Cardinals that they it wasn't a knock on Jeremiah Love, that the Arizona Cardinals took him at 3. But when you're a team that's bad, that's not the position
I think
you need to be investing in.
I agree with you.
That's the philosophical difference.
I agree with you on the Jeremiah Love front because it was totally irresponsible for Arizona to waste the number 3 overall pick, much richer capital than a contract, if you pick up what I'm putting down. Right? Like, think about who you could have taken if you were Arizona that was more ready to come into your franchise and have success right away.
Well,
the whole reason we don't like Arizona taking the running back is because their offensive line is not ready for that.
Right. But here's where I do think there is some connection there. You say, well, it's the value of the pick. Well, this is a salary cap sport. And when you spend as much as you're spending on Devon Achane, and because of past decisions that were made by previous ownership or previous front offices, sure. It limits, the Tua dead cap situation, it limits what you're able to do. So when you choose to pay Devon Achane, it does limit what you can do in other areas.
What good is that money right now if you're admitting that they're not ready to compete? That's my whole thing. And the other piece is when you have a quarterback on a below-market deal, but think about this. You have a quarterback on a below-market deal. If he turns into your starter because you're severely underpaying at the game's most important position, you can, get a little luxury over here. That's like if you're driving a Honda Civic and you choose not to have a car note, you could go Bottega Dangle. You know what I'm saying? You can go to Neiman Marcus and do what you got to do and make sure you're dripping it out because you're sacrificing with your car. I think that's what Miami has the ability to do with Malik Willis on that contract.
Do you see the Miami Dolphins' vision? I kind of understand it. I think it's misguided. You like it. 310-840-4910. Let's see what the callers think. Chance is in Alabama. Chance, where are you on Achane getting the bag?
Hey, man, I don't get it. I think he's 24. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. You make him the third highest paid running back in the league, and correct me if I'm wrong on that.
He's 24. He's 24. You're right. He turns.
Are you saying you don't think Devon Achane, the talent, is worth it? Is that what you're saying, Chance?
I'm saying if you're the Miami Dolphins, you need to, and franchises don't like to say this. They need to be shooting for the bottom. They need to get one of them top quarterbacks.
Why? They have the quarterback, guys. They showed you here this offseason by going out and getting Malik Willis what they think about the quarterback position moving forward. They clearly don't plan on bottoming out for a quarterback because they got one in their minds.
Malik Willis is the quarterback of the future for the Dolphins. That's going to go real well against Josh Allen and that new guy in New England. The division stacked. Josh Allen owns it, and the guy in I don't even want to say his name in New England. Good luck with
what you got against Drake May, Chance? You don't even want to say his name.
What's wrong with Drake May? I'm a North Carolina guy, and come on, got to be nice to our guy.
I lost respect for Drake May whenever he stood up for Vrabel, saying, "We got your back."
What did you
coach.
want him to say?
Well, coach,
you need to be better, coach.
You come back strong. You fight through this, dude. You had sex with a pregnant woman who was married.
If you don't mind me asking, Chance, if you don't mind me asking, what line of work are you in? What line of work are you in?
I own a medium-sized window cleaning business. I clean residential homes, and I have a few employees under me.
A man that the people need is Chance. I dig it.
We do need somebody like that. But you are your own boss, so this analogy won't run true. But if our boss at Westwood One did what Mike Vrabel did, I can tell you one thing. If a phone caller asked me, hey, what are your thoughts on it, Josh Graham?
What?
I'm probably going to give the Drake May-like answer because that's my boss, dude. What are you talking about? What do you want Drake to say?
I'm going to, I would, in that
no
situation,
comment.
have no comment. Thank you. I would do the same thing, Chance. What the hell? I haven't paid enough to, what? to go. No,
Thank you,
it'd be a
Chance,
no
for the
comment
call,
for
by the
me.
way. I appreciate it.
It'd be a
No
no
doubt.
comment for me. That was I feel hot and sticky now after engaging in that little.
I'm not alleging.
No,
that
well,
my boss
obviously.
does anything like this.
Wow, I mean, I would hope not, Josh. I would
not.
hope. I would hope the hell not, or else we would accuse you of banging your cousin potentially, something like that.
What?
Nothing. I'm just gonna stop.
Where did that come from?
We probably should. Well, we probably should go to break. I think this is a nice point to just ease our way into the next topic.
Shout out to our guy Armin and to Amy and to all of you.
Wait,
Not making
you're talking to
any allegations here.
Oh,
Not making any allegations.
Turn my mic off.
It was a hypothetical situation. That's all I was saying here. It's
my mic was turned off by Oliver.
This segment sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Does Progressive protect from sports talk hosts saying stupid things? I hope so. We have a long-awaited answer to who the Seattle Seahawks will open the season against, plus 2 teams. They're going to create a new holiday. We'll pass those matchups along to you and react next on Westwood One Sports Night.
Tomorrow night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26. Hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. What's your team's toughest stretch? And where are the wins? We'll tell you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. The NFL schedule is going to be released in its entirety.
It's already happening,
less
Josh.
Than 24 hours from it being released in its entirety. Emphasis on the word entirety.
I'm angry.
Here are some of the most highly anticipated games that we know. The opener for the Seattle Seahawks. We knew it was going to be on a Wednesday night because you had the Australia 49ers-Rams game coming after that. So it was going to be Wednesday, September 9th. The Seahawks open the season. There were plenty of good options for this game in Seattle. They have home opponents against Kansas City, but the Chiefs, they're going to host Denver in the first Monday night game of the year. They have the Cowboys at home. They have the Giants at home. Both those teams will be meeting in Sunday Night Football to start the year. Even the Chicago Bears, but they're going to be in my neighborhood in Charlotte to face the Carolina Panthers. So instead, the NFL and NBC, they opt for a Super Bowl rematch. If you thought that Super Bowl 60 matchup was fun, we're going to see it again. Patriots, Seahawks to open the year. It's the first time we've seen a Super Bowl rematch to open the following season since those Carolina Panthers lost to the Denver Broncos a decade ago. Lynnell, it doesn't surprise me that this is the game. Why does it surprise you?
You make sure, someone make sure that, I think we have the VP of scheduling on tomorrow in the special that we're doing for the schedule release. Somebody ask him what went into this. I think this is a PR nightmare for the National Football League. You are opening the door for folks to make the thing that you should be trying to bury and make go away. You're now going to make it the lead story. I can see it now. Mike Florio and whoever's on the desk, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, it's going to be the talk of the week leading into it. I think this game being now put in the primetime opening game slot, Mike Vrabel is going to eventually step down here. I think, I'm telling you, this. I don't, and I know we've had the conversation of like, well, why should NFL fans care? I'm not saying the NFL fans care in one way or another. I just think it's such a bad look from a PR standpoint for the league. Not just the fact, not just the act that both of the two committed, Josh, but the fact that she's been kind of forced to resign and step down, and he's just coaching like nothing happened. And his big punishment, guys, guess what his big punishment was? Oh, I'm going to go get counseling. And I'm not trying to poo-poo on counseling. I'm somebody that has counseling. I have a therapist I talk to twice a week. But to act as if that's your punishment, you got to miss the third day of the draft so you can go get counseling to save your marriage, pal. Like, come on, dude. I don't know. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of how this has all been played out, and I think this game being put in the opener is kind of crazy.
Not as crazy as the idea that you think Mike Vrabel's stepping away or that someone's going to make him step away. Like the only way he steps away is he wants to. He's not going to. Why would he? Who's going to apply the pressure?
So I'm just saying, if more and more leaks continue to come out, because I feel like we haven't seen the bombshell yet. So if it comes out that Mike Vrabel is the baby daddy of that baby that Diana Rossini was carrying, you don't think that would be enough for Mike Vrabel to? I'm not saying that they're going to make him step down. He's distracted, dude. There's a lot on his plate, pal. He's got a family that he's got to tend to. He's got kids. If it comes out that he's got a child out of wedlock with Diana Rossini, you think he's just going to keep coaching like business as usual? Hell no. Would you? Come on. I would step down. Like
Lynnell, we're talking about the National Football League here. You're acting like this is the first salacious off-field crisis we've seen players or coaches go through and then still figure out ways to play. I mean, we don't need to go into some of the dark annals of things that
we don't.
Players,
we do
star
need to go
players.
Those annals. I have a flash.
Do we need to? Do we? Again, I mean, if Ben Roethlisberger was still allowed to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers after what was alleged he did, if there was, come on, we can go through the laundry list of
but didn't
things
Ben
that were terrible
Roethlisberger there was no punishment at all for Big Ben?
Oh, he got suspended a handful of games.
So
but you're suggesting he should step down.
And I'm not saying permanently. Maybe he takes a leave of absence at some point during training camp or something. I can see that. And
the reality
I'm going
is,
to the hyper extreme.
Ben Roethlisberger was accused of a crime, is the point I'm making, and many others are. Mike Vrabel
is a crime against
probably
morality,
a bad
Josh.
guy. He didn't commit any crimes, and thus he shouldn't be suspended any football game.
He's a home wrecker.
Sounds like I'm defending.
What are we talking about here?
Again.
What he did is actually wild. If we're going to be real about it, what he did is wild as hell.
But it doesn't mean you get suspended football games.
I'm not saying that he's going to get suspended and it's going to be some punishment. I'm saying he may make the choice to say, you know what, this is a lot. Let me really be there.
You're talking about the same dude that didn't even miss the first 2 days of the draft. And you think that guy's going to miss NFL regular season games?
But when the headline came out about him going to get
and here's the other part I disagree. I disagree with it being the biggest story of that week. I think by the time we get there, the 24-hour news cycle, what about the 3-4 month news cycle? We're going to have college football games and coming off Labor Day weekend, there's going to be a full month of preseason games, and you think we're going to be talking about this? Hey. The reality is the NFL 24-hour news cycle always needs to be fed, brother. It needs to be fed regardless of what month it is. And the fact that this story dropped in April, when it generally is a pretty slow month when it comes to the news, is why that was even talked about at all. When we get close to games, no one's going to care, and thus he's going to keep coaching. Doesn't make Mike Vrabel a good guy, but no one's going to care. And certainly he's not going to step down.
I know that it doesn't make him a good guy, but what I'm saying is this, right? This may have been like a feather in the cap for the leakers. That's what I'm calling them, the leakers. There was a DMV mixtape DJ. His name was DJ Uncle Leak Leak. He had all the best underground music. DJ Uncle Leak Leak in this situation now knows that game is in week 1. That game is going to kick off the season. You know what I would do if I was them now? I'm holding on. I'm holding it high and tight. I'm holding it high and tight, holding the point of the football, and I'm chugging this thing, and I'm holding my water all the way to September. And you know what? I'm going to wait and drop the biggest bombshell that I have an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before kickoff, and it's going to be the story. Maybe I'll drop it the morning of kickoff.
They can drop a sex tape the day of the game, and he's still going to coach that game, is what I'm telling you.
What a hypothetical. You telling me if they was to drop a Kim K and Ray J, and I'm talking
Ray
about
J in the news, by the way.
And he is in the news. We're gonna talk about him a little bit later. But in today's day and age, this ain't gonna be shot on no damn handheld camera. This is gonna be on a Logitech 4K HD. Are you kidding? If a sex tape drops, Josh?
Yeah. D-Day was just telling us he got a new work laptop. He's like, I got to look up this tape for work purposes. That's what I need to do. For work. It's for work. We're searching. We got to, content. That's what we need to do. But anyway, that's the first game of the year. It's Seahawks. It's Patriots. Speaking of Wednesday games, we have in our midst somebody who is going to be a part of history. Our guy Oliver is going to be attending the first ever Thanksgiving Eve NFL game.
Love it.
Because it will be his Green Bay Packers. Oliver, why are you a Green Bay Packer fan again? Is there something I'm missing? Between that? Because he went to Maryland. He's from LA. He's a Laker fan and a Dodger fan.
There's logic.
What?
There's logic to it. I'll explain.
Okay, give me the logic and turn your mic up too.
Thank you. So, my grandma was a big Packers fan.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Shout out to Grandma.
She passed away when I was like 6 years old, roughly. And then my dad's from Texas, and he was like, "Yeah, you can either be a Cowboys or a Packers fan. That's kind of the options." And it was Tony Romo or Aaron Rodgers. Therefore, went with Aaron Rodgers. Next year, they won the Super Bowl. It's been sad.
You picked well.
Exactly.
You picked well, kid.
All right,
is what I
that's
would
a good explanation. Now get to those phones. Thank you, Oliver. Appreciate you. I love the ringtone, by the way. It's from like the show 24. It's excellent. So Packers-Rams is the game, and Thanksgiving Eve is now a holiday. I didn't know it was a holiday.
But Josh, it's not now
I
a
don't
holiday.
think it was before.
We got to stop with this. It's been a holiday. I'll be honest with you.
Thanksgiving Eve.
I've been getting boozed on Thanksgiving Eve for years now, man. It's been a holiday, pal. Me and other Americans
Booze.
out there.
B-O-O-Z-E?
B-O-O-Z-E. That's
Got it.
booze. B-O-O-Z-E. I could have been a cheerleader if I wanted to. Did you hear that?
I heard.
This is one part of the Faces of Willingham, remember.
Hey, so here's what I'm going to do. Packers-Rams going to be going on that night, but it's not going to be on the primary screen, not in the Graham household, because Duke-UConn, the rematch of the Elite Eight that you were at in D.C., Prime Video, that gets the main
Oh, it's
screen.
on Prime? Now I guarantee you no one's watching it. Are you kidding? The hassle that people are going to have to go through to leave November football to go watch a November college basketball game?
I mean,
one's
you know
gonna watch
this
for
NFL
that
game is
reason.
going to be on Netflix. It's got to. It's
on
Netflix.
Netflix?
We don't know
It's on
that
the
yet, but I'm telling you, it's going to be on a streaming service.
Well, I would
be
love
on
it.
Prime.
So I think it's fascinating that game is on Prime. By the way, I think it makes it a more difficult watch. Yeah, I think the idea of the game is going to be entertaining for sure. It'll get our whistle wet in terms of meaningful college basketball in November. Kind of hard to. It's kind of an oxymoron.
Caden Boozer's back. Braylon Mullins is back. We can fire that up. That'd be a good bit of fun. So you have that. In terms of what's next, what if you could attend any of these games, Lynnell? Which playoff rivalry do you find most appealing this coming year? Would it be the Chiefs' visit to the new Bills Stadium, where the Chiefs are going to play the Bills? Obviously. You have the Lions visiting Buffalo, the first Thursday night game in Week 2, by the way. That's the first game in that stadium. The AFC Championship rematch, the Patriots hosted the Broncos. And then you got Rams, Seahawks, Packers, Bears. I mean, watching Ravens, Steelers without John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin on either sideline is going to be interesting.
Strange. I'm eager to see that first Thursday nighter of the season, man. I'm eager to see the Bills open up their new stadium and stop a mud hole in the damn Detroit Lions. This is the last dance for the Detroit Lions. Remember I said it. Jared Goff's cap hit balloons to something untenable next season. If they don't figure it out this year, and they've lost some pieces, their slot corners now in Washington, pass rush is taking a little bit of a hit, Panay Sewell's flipping the left tackle. There's a lot of change going on in the D, is what I would say, in the Motor City. So I'm interested to see that.
Speaking of Netflix just announced the roster of its newest season of the quarterback show. We'll get to that in just a second. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, searching Westwood One Sports Nights. You can find us as that channel continues to grow. We get to do a lot more fun things that you can find there. And if you miss any of our great programming, you can find it back and watch the shows back. It's how you can watch us in addition to listening to us. The podcast feed is available on Apple Podcast and on Spotify, searching Westwood One Sports Night. This might be the first time in my career that I've ever used a phone caller as a tease. Mr. Positive is a Detroit basketball fan. How's he doing? That's next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Lynnell, simple question to open the hour. Cleveland
Lay it on me,
117.
JG.
I will. Cleveland 117, Detroit 113. Detroit up 9 with 3 minutes to go in regulation, losing the basketball game in OT to fall behind 3-2 in the series. This series going back to Cleveland, a chance for the Cavaliers to close things out after trailing in the series at one time 2-zip. Did Cleveland win this game or did Detroit lose it?
Josh, despite you trying to discredit James Harden, Donnie mentioned the Cavs at every turn, my friend. The answer to your question is the Cavaliers won this game. The level of resiliency they showed throughout the course of this game, on the road, in hostile territory, trying to get the road playoff bugaboo off of their back, trying to flip the narrative here in real time, they earned it by way of Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, and James Harden. And, Max Strus, waiting for the hot tag, wham, came in and gave you 20 off the bench. I thought this was a total team effort from Cleveland tonight, and I think their ability to overcome and not listen to the noise and the hubbub, despite being down in the waiting moments, like they got kahunas, man. Sam Cassell meme for what we saw from the Cavs tonight. It was gutsy to me.
Neither of these teams deserve to make the conference final. Shoot them both into the sun. 310-840-4910. Let's go to noted Detroit basketball fan. Detroit basketball! Mr. Positive, who I can't imagine that
I honestly
Mr.
don't even know if I need to hear
all
from him
that
this
positive
early in the show.
in Detroit. Mr. Positive, how are you?
Oh, my God. Boom shakalaka. Josh, Lynnell, devastated. But real quick, Josh, on Friday nights, when you do your Elvis impersonation, when I get on the air, it's fantastic. You should see the feedback that I get in private message. They love it. You are a showman, my friend. But, hey, we're devastated. Oh, my God. We couldn't even do it for Eminem and Curtis Jackson, a.k.a. 50 Cent.
To you, Mr. Positive.
Yes. And, I mean, we're crying in Detroit. We're livid. We can't believe it. We were supposed to win this
I'll be
series,
honest, Mr. Positive.
though it's tough. I mean,
there was a hot debate about whether or not we were going to let you on right now because I think you're very emotional right now. The game just wrapped up. I wanted to give you more time to cool off, but you have come in guns a-blazing per usual.
It was the saddest. It was the saddest boom shakalaka I've ever heard.
It was yeah. And I mean, here's the thing: Cade Cunningham had to do it all by himself. We didn't have Duncan Robinson to spread the floor. You know, we made some errors at the end. Oh, my God, we're looking at this, and you should see. I mean, people were calling me. They were crying. I mean, oh, my God, you guys.
Positive. Didn't basketball Nostradamus, Lynnell Willingham, tell you the other night when Cleveland won that game that the series was in a stranglehold at this point? That was the game that turned the tide. I said it the other night.
You also said that the series was over at 2-zip either, Lynnell.
I did,
Willingham.
but I was then presented with new information, and like the astute radio host that I am, I get presented with more facts.
You can't do a victory lap after you were dead wrong at the start.
Don't call it a lap.
Say new information.
Call it victory. Call it victory vamu. Whatever don't call it a victory lap then. But
this guy's in pain, and you're dunking on him right now.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
I mean, I'm just trying to tell him how T.I. is. That's all.
Hey, at least the Lions,
Oh, geez.
are coming.
They're not going to go anywhere this year either. This is just Detroit sports.
This is what I'm saying. Now the Lions.
Well, oh, my God.
The Lions now have to catch a stray because the Pistons folded tonight. This is why I didn't want to bring him on this early. He's emotional. He's saying things that I know he doesn't mean.
Boom shakalaka, Mr. Positive.
Mr. Positive, you've got about one more before I go, because
We We are going to spend a good bit reacting to this game. In about 10, 15 minutes, we have Cade Cunningham and JB Bickerstaff bickering about the no call at the end of regulation that we'll get to in just a bit. You'll hear that sound shortly. 310-840-4910. Apparently, the phone lines are just littered with depressed basketball fans. Like Joe's in Indy and is a Pistons fan, and he's bummed out, and he's coming to us. Like, I want to view this show as kind of like a therapy couch of sorts where I'm asking you about your mother, and you're talking to me about all
Pistons
the
fans, I'll say this. Don't come looking to me for sympathy or empathy. I told you your fate the other night. That's why you listen nightly, to hear what's going to happen to your team.
Let's go to Joe. Joe, hello. And
Joe, I feel bad, but you knew better.
I appreciate this therapy couch. Look, I by no means do I think we were a 60-win team, but you got to take it series by series, and this series should be over. We should have won this series by now if it wasn't for JB Bickerstaff. And here's why. No. I knew that was going to get some laughs. We're up 2-0. We go to Cleveland, and we're winning in the fourth quarter. And he refuses to put in Paul Reed, and he plays Jalen Duren. And Jalen Duren's been historically bad in this playoffs. And you end up losing Game 3. Game 4, we get killed. That's fine.
Well, hold on a second. You got your wish tonight. They took him out of the game.
B-Ball Paul is the savior. B-Ball Paul is supposed to be the savior for the 60-win Pistons. I mean, come on, guy. Are we serious?
No, come on. No. He's been playing great in the play. I did get my wish. He played in the fourth quarter, but it was too late. It's almost like JB knows that Duren is worse, but he waited till we were losing going into the fourth to put him in. It was too late.
JB wanted to lose, yeah.
No, he didn't want to lose, but there's a player, I think it's the front office telling him, you got to play this guy because we're about to pay him $40 million, and we're going to set our franchise back.
Can I be honest? We appreciate the call. I now know how I sounded for years as a delusional Commander fan, trying to justify things that were happening. Here at Pistons fans tonight, I mean, you guys you're blaming everybody but who you should blame.
Lynnell, these people are in pain. You would be the worst therapist ever.
Hold on. You're up 9 points. Cade Cunningham, brother, we've anointed you. We're talking about you as one of the best players in this sport, 25 or younger, and you blow a 9-point lead. You're the point guard. You make sure. You
just gave Cleveland all the credit for coming back, and now you're bashing Detroit? Which one is it?
Both. I'm having my cake, nom, and eating it too, Josh Graham. Because
you're telling people I'm Lynnell. You come to me, I'll tell you what's happening. You said the series is over after 2-zip, and now you're dunking on callers who are saying I'm bummed. Oh, you should have listened to me last night.
You miss a day, you miss a lot. That's what I'll say about Good Morning Sports tonight. You
I'm just trying to figure it out.
You miss a lot. But no, like Cade, can we point some fingers at Cade Cunningham though? Like Jalen Duren's gonna wear it, but like I've been saying that the entire postseason, he's been an utter disappointment. Numbers are literally sliced in half. We were talking about this guy being third team All NBA. Yeah. My ass. Cade Cunningham's leading the NBA in turnovers.
I will give you credit where you deserve it, and you deserve it in recognizing the Pistons' lack of a second scoring option months ago, in saying that this team wasn't going to be a team that goes to the finals despite what their record is. You deserve credit there. You deserve no credit when it comes to predicting anything in this series. Nothing. None. So you deserve credit
another day.
in calling the Pistons months ago. Let's go to Jim, who's in New Hampshire.
Jimbo!
Hey, Jim.
Hey, good morning, guys. You know what? This did not surprise me with the Cavs. Really, I think Detroit could have been a fourth seed. You know, there's better teams in the East. And I think the Cavs are going to pull it out. I think it's going to be Cavs and Spurs. That's what I hope.
Wow. You got the Cavs over the Knickerbockers?
These Detroit fans, you know, Mr. Positive, they feel bad. But you know what? I'm a Celtics fan. How do you think we feel?
With all your banners hanging up in the rafters, you don't get to feel bad. You're a Celtics fan. You're a winner.
No one's going to feel bad for Boston fans, but I will say Jim, it's been a rough go with the Vrabel situation and the Red Sox firing their manager and the Celtics and the Bruins both losing on their home ice and home court respectively in round one.
Did you mention Mike Vrabel?
I hear you, but Jim,
Well, you know what?
I did. No one's going to feel sorry for you, unfortunately.
No, guys, this generation here, these people, these kids are used to it. I mean, I grew up in the '70s. Where
they're spoiled rotten.
Much.
You're like Bane telling people, I was born in the darkness. 86 years without a title. All right.
Yeah,
appreciate the call. Thanks, Jim. Good to hear from you.
Jeez.
Well, I guess, Washington's not fantastic.
I know what it's like. That's why I
can
relate to these people.
Well, the hockey team, too. Oh, wait. If you like if you like hockey or baseball, you're happy in D.C. If you like the football and the basketball team first, not so much.
Means there are a lot of unhappy people walking around the nation's capital.
Let's do one more. Bert is in Baltimore. Bert. Where are you on Pistons Cavs?
This call is only going to go one or two ways.
I was calling to welcome you back after your vacation, but while I was on hold, I just received breaking news out of New York NBA headquarters.
Oh boy.
The New York Knicks have been declared winners of the Eastern Conference and will advance directly to the NBA Finals.
I agree with you. I got that same press release. It's crazy.
Welcome back,
Just
man.
as you did.
Thanks, guys.
Bert. Appreciate it. I like to imagine that Bert from Baltimore is actually Bert Jones, the great Baltimore Colts quarterback from the 70s, number 7, rocket arm, could sling it. Years before another.
You talking about a quarterback from the 70s having a rocket arm?
Yeah. 5 years before, they drafted another number 7 rocket arm quarterback that decided he didn't want to go play in Baltimore, unfortunately.
Oh, John.
Yeah. So, times have changed a little bit. So
they have. We have athletes playing football now.
On the NFL front, we're less than 24 hours away from Westwood One's NFL schedule release show. Learn the schedule from 8 to 10 p.m. in its entirety with Scott Graham, which is the name of my dad, but not my dad hosting. That would be fun if it was my dad and Mike Golick hosting this show. That'd be great. You should expect NFL stars throughout the program, including Seahawks champion Leonard Williams dropping by. Again, the NFL schedule release show, 8 to 10 p.m. Then you can catch us later Thursday night with our lead Westwood One play-by-play voice, Kevin Harlan, joining us to break things down. So that should be a good bit of fun.
It's time for a Dodgers alert. Shohei Ohtani tonight. 7 scoreless. I mean, 8 punch outs. Still what he does. I just got the tweet notification from Bob Nightingale. So
do you do these Dodger updates when he's in like this massive drought without home runs?
No.
And the Dodgers aren't even in first place in the AL,
the
NL West, and the Giants are doing their weird celebrations after beating you.
Dodgers alerts are only positive. Why? You hear that? They're only positive. Josh Graham.
Didn't know that.
Positive.
Los Doyers. I do appreciate that imaging from Oliver. That was great. Yeah. How did it go again? Play it one more time, Oliver.
Dodgers alert. Dodgers alert. Yeah.
Tremendous.
Shout out to Westwood One, baby.
Imaging.
Westwood One. I've been waiting to do that for a while.
JB Bickerstaff.
Oh, I can't wait.
And Cade Cunningham heated after tonight's loss.
They need to stop crying.
Play the sound of why they are and react to it while continuing to get to your calls. 310-840-4910. Next on Westwood One Sports Night.
Tomorrow night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26. Hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. What's your team's toughest stretch? And where are the wins? We'll tell you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Lynnell Willingham, we're learning, is not a very good therapist for Detroit basketball fans. And even though he says he has respect for the industry, even though he dunked on Mike Vrabel's one-day outing, getting some counsel, trying to save his family, shout out to Brian Kelly, he hasn't been very kind to Detroit fans who are depressed. So we'll see if things improve for the Pistons. Let's see if things improve for Lynnell the therapist, as Derek in Detroit wants in. Before we get to JP Biggerstaff and Cade Cunningham's reaction to a no call at the end of regulation, Derek, would you describe your feeling as depression, anger, sadness? Where are you at right now?
Anger mixed with depression. Number one, I'm making short and simple. Thank you guys. First time caller, long time listener. Appreciate the show.
Thanks.
JB Biggerstaff, I believe he needs to go. Like before we had Carlisle, he was good. We was going to the playoffs, but once we fired him, we won a championship. And I believe the same move needs to happen with Biggerstaff. And two, Cade needs to develop a post game. If he develops a post game to where he can kick out, that could change the offense instead of the pick and roll to where they're picking it up and he can't even. Right. So if he develops the post game, he can turn into maybe a Jordan, a Shea, or a Kobe and take the team to a different height. That's just my opinion. So that's all I have.
Can I make a basketball point here for a second? I think the one thing I've saw with Cade Cunningham, and this is our two young stars, learning how to navigate the waters of the postseason. We saw it with Anthony Edwards. We've seen it with Cade Cunningham. When they're getting double teamed, you're seeing San Antonio bring the double team at half court. You're seeing Cleveland bring the double team at half court. When you get rid of the basketball, you can't just stand there. You have to relocate. You have to continue to move. It's something that Ant hasn't done consistently, something that Cade hasn't done consistently. Makes me wonder, like, are y'all out of shape? Like, are you sucking wind? Because, like, why are you're screwing your offense by being stagnant and not moving after you make that initial pass out of the double team.
JJ Anthony writes in, Osser Thompson should have shot free throws in the final 2 seconds before OT. That's the focus of the post-game sound. Let's go to JP Bickerstaff first. His reaction to that end of regulation sequence.
He fouled Asar. It's bad. I mean, clear. He trips him when he's going for a loose ball. In the game situation, you know, that's tough.
Okay. Now let's go to Cade Cunningham, who had thoughts on the matter as well.
We all saw the play. I think it's pretty clear it was a foul. He has the ball in his possession. He's running forward. He gets tripped up. That's a foul. It's been a foul the whole rest of the game. Wasn't a foul that time, but close game. I mean, nobody wants to make that call, I guess. Everybody just wants to, allow the game to sort itself out. So nobody wants to interfere with it whenever it should have been a foul.
You know what? Instead of those two even – this is my thing. I see a team-wide mentality issue with the Detroit Pistons right now. When the head of your snake after your last loss is out in front of the media crying, bitching, moaning, and groaning about referees, I think there's a trickle-down effect that has on the rest of your team. J.B. Bickerstaff has set a terrible, terrible example for how his team should be responding. That's the reason, part of the reason, why they couldn't close the game up 9 with 2 minutes, because they're mentally fragile. The 60-win, 1-seed Pistons are mentally fragile, and they showed it again tonight. I don't want to hear about what the officials didn't do. Shut up. Like, you're wasting air. It doesn't matter. We watched the game for 48-plus minutes. We even got free basketball tonight. Talk about what you didn't do in the overtime. Yet the first thing you want to holler about when you get up to the podium is the officials.
Well,
miss me with that.
Hold 1 second.
I don't want to hear it.
He was asked a question.
No comment. There's a way to handle it. Be a tough ass
and
say,
I
look.
agree with you. You should add the part where that's not why we lost the game, and sure, say those things. So I'm not saying it's a perfect answer, but acting as if they are unprobed going to a microphone and saying, it was the officials that cost us the game.
Might as well have.
I'll say this. You will not find a greater official defender than yours truly. I love the refs. You hate the refs. I love the refs.
I wouldn't say that, but you love
the refs. I do.
A lot.
You go to sleep listening to Kurt Signetti giving some press conferences or giving some talks. I go to sleep listening to Tony Brothers make his case for being Norfolk's mayor. That's me. He is. He actually is once he's done with the playoffs. He is running for mayor in Norfolk, Virginia.
You just made yourself sound a lot less cool than you actually are, is what I would say.
I know.
You're actually a pretty cool guy.
I'm just telling you, I'm going to defend the refs.
Just saying.
Tony Brothers, by the way, is one of the more respected officials in the game.
He is.
Like he's a good ref.
Shout out to Macaroni Tony,
with
man.
the officiating tonight. Was it a foul? No, because you didn't call it.
That's
and you have the ability to challenge calls. You get an ability to challenge everything now. I'm sorry, if you don't have any challenges left, I have no sympathy. Like the refs, these guys get bullied and battered in every sport now, and you have the ability to challenge and overturn stuff. I don't want to hear you complain anymore, especially when you go 5 straight minutes, the final 3 minutes of regulation, the first 2 minutes of overtime, without scoring a point. Not even scoring a point. I'm sorry. No one wants to hear it. It's kind of like the Boston sports fan crying, woe is me. We don't want to hear it when you blow the 9-point lead.
We have more kerosene to throw on the fire. Tony Brothers answered in the pool report. The question was, why wasn't a foul called on that last possession in regulation involving Asar Thompson on Jared Allen? During live play, both players were going for the ball, and there was incidental contact with the legs with no player having possession of the ball, so no foul should have been called. The pool reporter then follows up. Brother says no, there was incidental contact on the play. The play will be reviewed by the league office tomorrow, and it will be posted in the last 2-minute report.
One thing that he is right on.
Yes.
Right there. Mm-hmm. One thing that Tony Brothers is right about, and Cade Cunningham flippantly said incorrectly, is that Thompson had possession of the ball. He didn't. He did not have possession of the ball yet. It was a loose ball, and it wasn't upper contact from Jared Allen. It was tangled up legs. And here's the part that is never popular to say out loud, but it's the truth. It's the thing that we kind of accept as sports fans. You don't want the basketball game to end that way.
No.
Like, if he calls that foul and Detroit gets bailed out that way, then we have Cleveland fans calling us off the hook saying how the ref is fixing it for Detroit. So there's no win for Tony Brothers. You know, this is a part where I don't want to hear Lynnell Willingham doing victory laps for this series. I do want Denton Day to have a victory lap, though, because D-Day was the guy who predicted hours ago, regardless how this game's going to go, we're going to have player and coach bitching about the refs in the postgame. Did you not say that just hours ago, D-Day?
It's happened after literally every single NBA playoff game this year.
It's obnoxious.
Yeah.
It is.
Maybe the players have a point. So there was a number I found earlier today on ESPN. Fouling is up 11% in the postseason compared to the regular season. There are 11%.
Wait, you're defending the players for complaining about the refs now?
Well, the data shows that the players have a point.
You just told Cade Cunningham to shut up.
Well, the data shows that 11% more fouls are being called in the postseason than the regular season. That is a all-time jump. Do what you want with that information.
I thought we were in the trust circle singing Kumbaya.
Do what you want with that information. We just present you the facts, baby. That's it. You do what you want. I just cooked the meal. You decide what you want to do with it. You should eat it.
Let's go to Brian, who's in Cleveland. And this is what it says
on my
Cleveland! Right now. Shout out to Oliver. Brian in Cleveland. Parentheses. Not depressed. Brian, is that a good characterization of how you feel right now?
Man, I'm in a great mood. I just want to say, quit crying. It's playoff basketball, you know? This ain't the regular season or the preseason. And then in Game 2, when they got the win and the officials had the referee glued to their lips all night, I didn't hear him in the postgame after that victory say, man, it was a great win and the Cavs played a tough game, but, man, they got some real bad calls. So stop it, man. It's playoff basketball.
I agree with you. I
agree with
you,
they're wearing down.
Brian.
You know.
Brian, I agree with you. But let's be honest. If they called that foul at the end and you're calling this show, what is your phone call sounding like then?
Oh, no, I'm going crazy. I'm saying the same thing, though, playoff basketball, but I'm pissed, of course, if they lose. But
you can't call that in that situation because it's playoff basketball. So I will feel
We agree.
You watched the highlight. It wasn't like they got tangled up, man. They showed it clear. Like, it wasn't like he stuck his foot out. They were both running. They got tangled up. Hey, man, there's nothing you can say to me to say what if, because it didn't happen. What if was undefeated, you know what I mean? So go Cavs, baby. Cavs in 6. Hey, thanks for taking my call, man. I appreciate you.
So we got a tweeter. The Detroit Magpie tweets at me and says it's a tweet from Eric Vincent, who covers the Pistons for Clutch Points. Cavs have shot 100 free throws over the last 3 games. The Pistons have shot 54. Maybe that's because the double team that's being employed by Coach Atkinson and company, it's stopping them from getting downhill.
No.
They can't get to the Baja to get fouls called.
I hate that you even brought that stat up because there's nothing lamer than foul counting out of context where it's this team was called for this many fouls as if it's supposed to be exactly even. Oh my God. Yeah. Because you had this many fouls called on you, that means this many fouls need to be called. Well, no, that team didn't foul as much.
I think it's indicative of the play style.
That obviously impacts. See, Jason in Illinois claims to be completely emotionally detached from this, which is what we need. We need level-headedness on the matter. Jason, where are you on the end of regulation and officiating?
Man, to be honest with you, with this end of regulation, this is professional basketball. Plays are missed, calls are missed, and JB Bickerstaff needs to shut his damn mouth and try to come back in Game 6 and Game 7.
Bickering, Bickerstaff. Yeah, you can't spell Bickerstaff without bicker in it. Yeah, tell him.
So, I mean, he just needs to shut his mouth in Game 6 and Game 7. He makes that difference, and they go to the Eastern Finals, and then he can start talking about it then. Right now, he just needs to shut his ass up and just play.
Woo! Woo! Here goes Jason. He's got a flamethrower. He's like Leo DiCaprio at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's like, come on, man. Burn it all down.
Got to bring it hot if you want in on Westwood One Sports Night, baby. This is the energy I love from y'all because everyone's making valid points. Like, I think, and maybe hindsight is 20/20. Like, if this was happening, this is what we got to do, Josh. We got to put ourselves in the shoes of a Pistons fan. If the Wizards were in this situation, and this is how they lost a basketball game because there was no foul called. See, I'm already doing it. I'm blaming the lack of a call on them losing the game. I wonder if I was a fan
You've gone to the dark side in this segment. It started like we were in unity, and then you brought up that random stat, and it sounded like, we might have lost Lynnell to the dark side. And now here he is at the end, putting himself in the situation, saying he would be on the Pistons side of it. I don't like this.
I just think it's fascinating to look at it from both sides because I get it. I'm happy the fans are fired up. This is why we love sports. It's so subjective in terms of how you view things, man. But I think big picture, just to go back to the hoop for a second, are we surprised that this is what's happening to the Detroit Pistons? Pistons fans shouldn't even be surprised that this is happening to them. This is like you eat all winter long. You're eating Hot Pockets, pizza rolls, Little Debbie cakes, and then you're wondering why your body doesn't look right for the summer. Because you didn't handle your business. We knew all season long that Detroit was fraudulent. I called them the most fraudulent 1 seed in recent memory, beating up on a weak-ass Eastern Conference en route to 60 wins. So nobody should be surprised that they're coming up short. Kevin Hart.
310-840-4910. You were like Cat Williams to Kevin Hart there. Getting to the NFL. The team that had the splashiest start to the NFL offseason seems to have careened into a ditch. And there's news that isn't getting enough play today that we'll bring to you and react to next on Westwood One Sports Night.
Tomorrow night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26. Hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. What's your team's toughest stretch and where are the wins? We'll tell you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
That's Lynnell Willingham. I'm Josh Graham. Still getting loose after Cleveland 117, Detroit 113 in overtime game. Whew, I'm already a couple Gatorades in right now.
You get a sugar rush.
Are pointing out on Westwood One Sports Night on YouTube. Got the Gatorade, have orange, and got Glacier Freeze at the same time. Tell you what. Let's get to...
Yeah, tell me what. All right, at the same time. What are you doing?
The NFL.
Ooh, same time.
The New York Giants started the offseason with the biggest splash of all, landing John Harbaugh to be their next coach. But they seem, ever since then, to have lost all the momentum they made from that and perhaps careened into a ditch. After missing a large portion of last season, we just got the news today that Malik Nabers' status is uncertain, with another procedure being done, this to clean up scar tissue in his knee. Going to this show's resident ACL expert, Lynnell Willingham, what does this tell you about Malik's timeline, and how does it impact your view of the Giants?
I feel like I hear, and Giants fans, maybe you hear it too, it's the air being let out of the Giants balloon. They were the belle of the ball all offseason long, going out spending buku cash, revamping the defensive line, getting in new guys for Coach Harbs. But offensively, with this news that Malik Nabers is going back under the knife to clean up scar tissue, I've torn my ACL 3 times in my life. It's 3 times too many. I've never had to go back under the knife for scar tissue to be removed. What is scar tissue? Is probably what the average fan is thinking. That limits your mobility and range of
Chili Pepper song.
Best Red Hot Chili Pepper song. I was going to ask who are the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I'm not hungry.
What?
Kidding. Pop culture.
Are you?
Pretend like I don't know anything. Bit Red Hot Chili Peppers. I probably couldn't name a song, but I know them. They're hot, aren't they?
See, I don't know if this is a bit or not.
I'm not doing a bit. And if they're men, I did not mean to call them
Peppers
hot.
are.
If they're men, I didn't mean to call them hot. That's what I would say. But
no,
no,
you didn't know they were. You didn't know it was men.
I thought they were women. The Red Hot Chili Peppers are not men. This is embarrassing. I hate when you do this to me, especially when I'm trying to deliver a great point about the NFL.
I didn't.
It's totally undermining.
Said the scar tissue was the best Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I was trying to sit here. I was trying to turn into Dr. James Chow live here on Westwood One Sports Night. You hijacked me with Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm sorry, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Can you give me the first 30 seconds, Oliver, of scar tissue if it's clean? I'm pretty sure it's a clean song. We just we need to expose.
For monetization purposes, can we hear the first 15 seconds?
In fact, I thought it was 30. But for the next for the next hour, I want the next hour of the show. I just want Red Hot Chili Pepper songs so that Lynnell can at least.
Does that mean I need to go grab a water or something?
This is a good band. Like, my reaction is such that it's a worthy. They performed the Super Bowl last decade. It's not. I'm not doing this for some deep cut band like, oh, you don't know about
scar tissue that I wish you saw.
Is this the song that goes? I'm gonna get to it.
With the birds of shed, it's a lonely view. With the birds of shed, it's a
They're on Madden. I know that. I just don't know what song is on Madden. They're on
D-Day,
Madden.
you just tell me what's an appropriate response because I want to be fair. Like, this isn't me saying, oh, you don't know Hoobastank from a few weeks ago? That's not what this is. Red Hot Chili Peppers performed the Super Bowl.
You better not get the stank back on my mind.
You don't want the
You
stank
watched
back on
the
your
Super
mind?
Bowl.
I do not want the stank back. I do not want the Hoobastank back on my mind.
You watched the Super Bowl, I take it. Or maybe you checked out at that point. Broncos, Seahawks in New Jersey.
Oh, who the hell made it to halftime of that debacle?
Bruno Mars and Red Hot Chili Peppers at halftime of the Super Bowl?
Bruno Mars is a fake The Weeknd. It's so annoying. That was a hot take.
What? What did you just say?
He wishes he could hold The Weeknd's jockstrap.
It's the other way around, friend.
Literally and figuratively.
Bruno's better than The Weeknd, and I like them both. Those
Bruno's
are my
not
two
better than
favorite halftimes of the last
Bruno's
decade.
like a wannabe. He's like a
15
great
years.
value Michael Jackson. Like, it's so bad, his bit.
Unbelievable takes. I
I
don't
love
even know how to
making
react.
evil pop culture takes.
310-840-4910. Just
Can I
don't even.
can
I'm
I
not
get
even
back
gonna
to
ask a
Malik
question.
Nabers?
I am. 1 sec. 310-840-4910. I'm not even going to ask a question. Just give the number and we'll see what happens. But Lynnell, you were making the point about scar tissue, and I actually am relying on you, Dr. Willingham, to tell me.
You educate
what's up
me
with Malik Nabers.
You educate me on the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'll get you up to speed on scar tissue.
Thank you.
Scar tissue, when there's a buildup of scar tissue, what you do is you begin your therapy sessions with manual work. And you rub out the scar tissue and you flush it down your leg and you get ice and all that, and it breaks up eventually over time. That scar tissue not being broke up properly, for them to have to manually go in and break it up and remove it, that means there's a lot. That means his range of motion at this point is not very good. I'll take it a step further. I think this, because you're going back under the knife here in May, I think it impacts your timeline by maybe a month. Seriously. So we may not see Malik Nabers. What's the list that maybe you can help us out on this? The list, like, where you missed the first 4, is that PUP? Is that PUP where you missed the first 4 weeks at least?
Yes. If you're on the physically unable to perform,
you got to miss at least the first month. I can see him landing on PUP. And if you're the Giants, this is why I say it's sucking all the air out of the balloon. I love what they did adding, Isaiah Likely. I love their draft with Maui Noah getting selected. I love adding Greg Newsome via free agency, drafting Arvell Reese. They don't have a reliable pass-catching option. With no Malik Nabers, you're relying on Darius Slayton, Malachi Fields, who, why the hell did they draft that guy, if I'm being real? Darnell Mooney, who hasn't been able to stay healthy throughout the course of his career, and then Isaiah Likely. You're counting on Isaiah Likely making this massive, massive leap in doing something he struggled to do throughout the course of his career. That's be a consistent producer. I think no Nabers on this Giants offense totally changes the complexion of how I view them.
You can make a really strong case that other than the quarterback, he's the most important player on that offense.
Well, the team,
and remember, they passed on Jordan Tyson at 5. They didn't draft a receiver until they took the kid out of Notre Dame in round 3. But speaking of the draft, this is the same team that surrendered any chance of winning the NFC East, as far as I see it, when they traded Dexter Lawrence away. Like, this is the one guy on defense that you just don't replace. You don't find pocket-pushing D tackles like Big Sexy on the market. You just don't. And with the new regime led by John Harbaugh and Dex making noise about his future already, it was right to move him in order to get the 10th pick back. But it's a move that you make knowing that you're probably going to get hurt in the short term on it, and you're playing for the long term, which might also affect the way the Giants view Malik Nabers as well, saying, hey, let's make sure that this knee's taken care of, even if it means that you miss a month to start the season.
No concerns about him getting a long-term deal. I kind of hear what you're saying, but I do want to push back a little bit. I think if you're the Giants, you just look at the amount of resources that you've spent on your front seven here, paying a defensive tackle top of the market money. It's just probably not something they're interested in anymore, and I get it. You know, I get it. You're going to have to pay Abdul Carter coming up here soon. You're going to have to make a decision on Brian Burns' contract once again. You're going to have to make a decision on Kayvon Thibodeau.
Again, I agree with it, but you just don't replace him right away. Those guys don't become available, and this wasn't, unfortunately, a strong defensive tackle draft.
Not to be contrarian, Carl, for a second, but like bringing in Shelby Harris and DJ Reader are two guys that I think maybe both of them together don't add up, obviously, to what Dexter is, but it's not like the cupboard is totally bare when it comes to the interior of their D-line. You got, the second-year kid Alexander coming back, Darius Alexander from Toledo, coming back next year for his second year too. So, like, calculated move is what I would say by the Giants. But they're screwed with no Neighbors. Like, all that being said, them not having Malik Nabers, I think, is very much cause for concern.
Not as concerning as you not knowing who the Red Hot Chili Peppers are.
That's debatable, Josh Graham. Can you give me a chance, though? What's their most popular song? Do they sing? Let me not even try to do that. I'm just not going to try to play.
Well, there are going to be songs that play during the next hour. I probably, like, D-Day, would you say Danny California is probably the most popular song? It's either that or Californication, I would think.
It's one of those two. Danny California, I don't know that Lynnell played Rock Band growing up, but it was on Rock Band.
I had I played Rock Band. No, I played Guitar Hero. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you probably played Guitar Hero, but Rock Band
Guitar
had
Hero
Danny
guy.
California. There might have been another Red Hot Chili Pepper song on one of the various Guitar Heroes.
Let me look up Madden. Red Hot Chili
Getting
Peppers
born
Madden.
in the state of Mississippi, Papa was a copper and Mama was a hippie. No?
That's mean.
See, it's
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I don't think
Madden.
that's mean.
I mean, in
hippie,
Californication,
copper?
they accused the moon landing of being fake.
That did happen.
Give it away.
The moon landing and the allegation. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Yeah, you just repeated exactly what I just said.
What I did it in the. I tried to mimic the cadence, Josh Graham.
See,
But it's
I
on the
don't
Madden
know-
soundtrack, like I thought.
D-Day, what is a hotter take? Him or just what's more noteworthy? He doesn't know who the Red Hot Chili Peppers are, or that The Weeknd does not hold, or Bruno Mars doesn't hold The Weeknd's jockstrap. I don't know what to do with either of these
I'm a
things.
Weeknd-
I don't
I'm a The
know how
Weeknd
to
stan.
prioritize these two.
I mean,
love
the
The Weeknd.
second one is way
I
hotter.
love that halftime show. Okay, the second one's it's
Yeah,
hotter.
I mean, look,
but
bro,
what's
Red
more
Hot Chili
noteworthy?
Peppers, there's two different Americas. If you ain't grow up listening to that kind of music, you're not going to know who they are.
Sure. But Bruno, this kind of explains when B-Dot was at the Bruno Mars concert rather than on the
Why I
show,
was throwing so
why.
much shade. Yes.
It's amazing. I don't know. I don't think it's warranted, all this shade towards Bruno.
The Weeknd's got aura,
Bruno's
dog.
one of the more... Who?
The Weeknd's got aura. His name is The
agree,
Weeknd,
but
bro.
The Weeknd doesn't have nearly as good of a track list as Bruno does. If they did a versus, I think Bruno Mars, it'd be a funny ass versus. The vibe of it would be different.
Honestly,
I don't know. That actually might be better than I think. I like both of them.
Can I
Why
tell
are
you
you
who I
making me choose?
Honestly,
why
don't
did you
even
do
think-
this?
I don't even think I like The Weeknd as much as I thought I do. I confuse him with Miguel all the time. It's so.
That's another crazy thing.
I was confusing with Miguel because I like the How Many Drinks remix with Kendrick
Miguel
Lamar.
getting a halftime show?
How Many Drinks is an amazing song. Can we come back with How Many Drinks at some point? It's an amazing song.
No,
That's why
it's
I
Red
thought
Hot
that was-
Chili Peppers for the next hour straight. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
And also, all four of the top NBA draft prospects spoke at the Combine in Chicago earlier. You'll hear from them. We'll react to what they had to say. And yes, Red Hot Chili Peppers. And who knows, maybe some more crazy Lynnell music tech.
Well, some hoopa
Next on Westwood One Sports Night.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
It's Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Lynnell.
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind.
This is Californication.
And little
by the Red
guy
Hot
from
Chili Peppers.
Sweden
This
dream
song
of
sucks.
silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication.
I thought Californication had to do with like sex. Was that fornication?
Fornication does have to do with sex.
So
Californication.
I thought Californication would have to do with like beach sex or something.
It's probably just a play on words for they're a California-based band. It's the thing. Lynnell doesn't know who the Red Hot Chili Peppers are, so this hour
I was
going
better
to,
off not hearing that.
It's going to be education. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Let's get to the NBA draft combine. Lynnell
Oh,
Willingham's
yeah.
locked in because his Wizards have the number 1 pick. They have the pick of the litter of the top prospects in this draft, the top 4. Speaking to the media in Chicago earlier, AJ DeBonsa was wearing a suit, a full suit, suited and booted for some reason, and he was asked about it, naturally. Here was the BYU star.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have interviews this morning with different teams, and I mean, I never had a job before. So I mean, I was 13, started taking basketball serious, but this is like my first job interview. So my dad's kind of like, this is your job interview, so come professional, come suit, try to come true.
I love that. I love that, Josh. He's just, And as a guy that has the chance to have him lead his franchise moving forward, my opinion matters a little bit. I love that. I love the answer. I love the act. He's so genuine. Just can't wait till he's donning red, white, and blue. Or maybe it's going to be Darren Peterson. Whoever it is, the Wizards are big fat winners, baby.
Darren Peterson, not as good at the media stuff as AJ DeBonsa is. The stuff leaks last week that the cramping was due to creatine, you guys. So here's Darren Peterson throwing all of Kansas basketball under the bus earlier today when asked about it.
Did you come to view that creatine could help, and when did you realize it wasn't doing what you hoped it would do?
Coming in, it was something that was just provided for us in like smoothies before and after weights. So like I didn't think they'd give me anything that wouldn't be beneficial. Obviously, they didn't know what I had going on, so they gave them to everybody on the team. And I figured it out after the season. Just get a baseline on myself, taking more tests, and figure it out.
How surprised were you when they said this is what's causing the cramp?
Super surprised because during the year I was doing everything I could to figure out what it was.
But, Josh, that's not him throwing Kansas basketball under the bus. That's not.
Quote,
there was
I
a
didn't
medical
think they would
mystery.
give me something that wasn't beneficial. Close quote.
No one knew that it wasn't beneficial until we ran the baseline test at the end of the season. It was a medical mystery all year long. I told you the story of him getting IVs on Friday nights for an hour to 2 hours while watching film. Like,
you also told me the
no
story
one knew
about him being this quiet guy who that's why he didn't talk to the media. And then he was asked about a misperception about him today. And he said that I'm quiet. Like, I'm not quiet. Ask my teammates. I'm not. Oh, there's this perception about him. I'm like, well, hey, you're kind of making my point. I'm sorry. I thought the stuff's weird. It didn't explain the flu situation where he bailed on a game where he warmed up in and he's playing the number 1 team in the country. That is a red flag for me. And it also is a bigger red flag that they won the game without him beating the number 1 team in the country. And then the creatine stuff and it's weird. I'm sorry. It's weird. It's okay to say it out loud. It doesn't make you a bad person to say so. I think it's weird.
To each his own, I would say.
And
I
by
don't
the
think
way,
NFL talent. I don't think NBA talent evaluators are too worried about what happened.
No,
I don't think it's
and here's
impacting
the
his
thing.
draft
Here's
stock
the thing.
in the slightest way, and that's all that really matters.
Again, I view this draft as being a top 4. That's how I view it. And when it's close, that's when things like this matter. Like if Cooper Flagg was dealing with cramping, if Cooper Flagg had the same things that we're talking about, yeah, he might be criticized for it, but the gap was so wide between him and that next group, and that's saying something considering how good that next group was and is. Like, yeah, the talent wins out, but when it's close, that's when intangibles matter. And I think between DeBonsa and Peterson and Caleb Wilson and Cam Boozer, I think it's close. And that's been my opinion on this since November. This is not something that I've, just being reactionary to it. I've felt this is close for a long time, and I still feel that way between these four.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. I do think the top 4 of the class is close, but I look at it a little bit differently. I think there are 2 tiers at the top. I think there's 1 and 2 that are deserving of being the number 1 pick, and that's Peterson and DeBonsta. And then I think Boozer and Caleb Wilson are in a tier slightly below, and I do not feel like they should be in consideration for the number 1 pick. Just my thoughts. Like, everybody, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I
don't think Caleb Wilson will be taken with the number 1 pick. I think he's going to be the best player in this draft.
So that's quite the projection, is what I would say.
And again,
with
I
Caleb.
think
It's more
out of those
difficult
top
to project
4,
him.
I think Peterson and Caleb have the highest ceiling of the 4 players. I have more confidence because of the personal makeup and competitiveness level of Caleb Wilson that he's just going to reach that ceiling. I don't have that confidence in Darren Peterson. I don't.
Why?
And that's why I think
you think he's not going to reach his ceiling because of what? Because he
I have concerns about his
year?
competitiveness level, man. I'm sorry with these. That's a huge thing, man. Like
brother, he missed. He sat out the one game. The one data point that
he was not in huddles. He was not engaged with his teammates. He was sitting there in a game that he played the first half in and just watching his guys play, and then not even walking up into huddles. I'm sorry, man, and not talking to the media and none of that. There are red flags with this dude. I have red flags.
I don't buy those. I don't buy those as red flags.
I know you don't. I do though. I do buy it.
Yeah.
I'm saying in terms of thinking who's going to be. I think he's going to be a really good player. Let me start there. I think he's going to be a really good player. We're comparing him with these 4 guys. I have more confidence in Caleb Wilson reaching his ceiling than I do Darren Peterson.
He dealt with a medical mystery last year and was clearly not at 100% and still produced at the level in which he produced. I look at that and go, man, if we could just get the kid healthy, which we're sure to be able to do at the NBA level because we're not going to give him something that his body's not going to respond well to, we'll surely figure it out before the end of the season because we're the NBA, not Kansas. I look at it through that lens of look at what he was able to do while at 50 to 75%. Like, we're being real. He's at 75, 80% this year, if that. And look at how he produced. You get him 110% healthy. I think there's an argument to be made that he's the better basketball player between him and DeBonsta. I think it's a real deal, split hairs conversation about who should be number 1. And I don't think that's a slight. I don't think it's a slight.
Peterson's the reason why he's not the number 1.
I don't think it's a slight or a discredit to either of the 2 guys either. It's just going to be about personal preference at the end of the day. I think they're both surefire, perennial all-stars, guys that are franchise-altering talents. Can be the best player on a title team.
I agree. I think he can. And I think that way of all 4 of the top 4 guys. That's how I feel. I think it's close. I do. And let's hear from the other 2. See, in talking to Caleb Wilson, and again, this isn't a slight to Cam Boozer, who I spent time talking to and spent a lot of time at Duke. I did. But I've talked to so many prospects over the years covering college basketball the last decade. Caleb Wilson's one of those. It's wait, this guy's a freshman? Well, this guy's so polished. This guy's so. It's I want to meet this guy's parents when you meet him. And some of that came out today when he was asked about a similar question than what Darren Peterson was asked about, talking about misperceptions and talking about what evaluators might think about him.
Is there a piece of feedback that you've gotten from an evaluator that you disagree with?
I disagree with? Honestly, not really. People don't think I can really shoot, which is kind of funny to me. I really work on it, and I can shoot. I didn't have the best numbers this year, but it was an interesting situation because that's not what I was asked to do. At the college I was at, I was just doing what I needed to do to help us win. So, people that say I can't shoot, I feel like that's interesting. But I mean, I'll prove it over time.
I like the way he handled it. Love the way he handled that, and I'm glad that you highlighted that for sure. That is the big question. He's very self-aware, and like to your credit, like for a guy that's 19 years old or however old he is, like that's impressive because that is the number one issue I would say, or the number one critique that talent evaluators have about him is how is he going to. I think it's a little bit more than that though, Josh. I don't think it's just about his jump shooting ability at the next level. I think it's about
like his jumper.
His offensive game, period, at the next level. And to his credit, and I think this is fascinating and why the talent evaluators get paid the big bucks, he did star within his role. He did exactly what North Carolina asked him to do. So,
and unlike the other three, he faced the other three last season head-to-head, and in all 3 games, he was the best player on the floor. In the 3
this is where where all of this gets interesting to me. And I think as somebody who follows college basketball as closely as you do, I wonder, like, your thoughts on this when you're looking at this and evaluating these guys.
Yeah.
I think the evaluation, especially for these 4 at the top, for these talent evaluators, this past college season was such a small data point compared to what they're looking at in its totality in scouting these guys. They've had so much more of tape and game tape to watch.
But I believe
other than what you saw
the college
this year.
tape. I believe the college tape is more valuable. I believe it's a much higher level of competition and much more representative than what you'll get in the AAU circuit.
I will make this argument. I think there are a lot of players that do not make it to play college basketball that are uber talented because of grades and academics and things of that nature. So I'm not of the belief that the college pool and the ACC schedule that you play is better from a talent standpoint than what you saw on the circuit. I don't think that's a guarantee at all because I think a lot of guys fall through the cracks that are uber talented.
Well, I just think there's a lot more that goes into it. Like,
For
game
sure.
planning is a lot different in college than it is in the NBA. I mean, obviously, like road home environments, like,
schedule
impact.
You're going through. I think
scheduling.
it's more adversity. I think there's more adversity from a scheduling standpoint when you're playing on the AAU circuit. You're not
right. So I get what you're saying. I disagree with that tape being more valuable because I will take.
I wouldn't say
what's
more valuable. I'd
most
say
recent.
just as valuable. I wouldn't say more
I
valuable. I'd say
disagree
it's
with
just
that.
as
I
valuable.
think I'd say the college is more valuable because I believe it's a higher level of competition that's more representative of what it's going to look like in the pros, and it's more recent. So give me the most recent. Give me, because that's probably the best representation, the closest representation of what you are most recently, and give me the highest level of competition you've played. And college basketball is a higher level of competition than AAU is. It just is.
But these, to say it's more
I mean,
recent,
the coaches
it's
in
more recent
AAU
by
are
a
not
couple
as good
months.
as the coaches in college.
I wouldn't say that.
The levels of I will 100% say that.
Wouldn't
I mean,
say that at all.
there are NBA teams trying to hire college coaches. There are not NBA teams trying to hire AAU coaches. It is different. Like being coached by Bill Self in Kansas.
I would very much. I think that's fascinating. There are college coaches trying to hire AAU coaches. Tell you that. Like
No,
these guys.
I don't think so. I don't remember the last one that happened at high major. High major, that does not happen. They don't hire AAU coaches. The only one that happened was Penny Hardaway. It's Penny Hardaway.
And I'm not talking about to be the head of a program. I'm talking about to be an assistant. I think you are.
I know. I'm saying the NBA teams are not trying to hire AAU coaches. They're trying to hire college head coaches.
I'm trying to stand up for the AAU circuit.
I'm not.
What I'm doing here because I
think
you're
the
totally
grassroots
poo-pooing
basketball
it
system
like it doesn't
is
matter.
gross in the United States. I do not care about AAU. I care about college basketball.
Yeah, but real talent evaluators do. So like it's a very much a massive piece of the evaluation point.
It's a higher level.
It's but Josh, like think about it, right? The college game, you only get a 20 game sample size. You see 20 games in the summer from a kid. And what
that's
like
again, that doesn't tell that tells me it's more games, but they're not higher quality games. They just aren't. I talk to coaches about this same subject all the time about the problems that exist with
those
AAU
kids,
and
those
using that
these
as
coaches,
an evaluation tool.
you can talk about all the problems that exist at the AAU level all you want. That's the number one tool that these people are using to recruit these kids. It's off of the AAU circuit.
I'm not saying you don't recruit it.
You're not looking at
don't
conference.
say it's
you're not looking
better
at your
than
district
better
regional.
product than.
You're not looking at the district regional in high school to recruit guys. What carries more weight, the summer or the measly high school public school season? Like, come on.
No, that's not the question. The question is what do you weigh better, college basketball or AAU? And you weigh college basketball.
I think the AAU and the grassroots is for when you're recruiting a college freshman, when you're scouting a college freshman as an NBA talent evaluator. That is just as much of a part of the evaluation. They start watching these kids at like 14 years old.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm saying one weighs heavier than the other. And college weighs heavier.
It's America. We're allowed to agree to disagree. I disagree on that.
Then you say something I agree with, and I'm like, well, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I agree that that's part of the evaluation, but I think one weighs heavier. I think that's college. Let's go to Cam Boozer. We said we heard from all four of them. Cam Boozer, if he goes fourth, he goes to Chicago. Well, that's where his dad played NBA ball, and that would be a place. Apparently, when they played, Duke played there on Thanksgiving Day in a win against Arkansas last year. Carlos and Cam talked about the possibility that maybe Cam plays for the Bulls.
I mean, we were here. He was like, man, for you to play in the city would be great just because, he played here. He loves it here. I think he has a very strong fan base here as well. I think he's very happy if I was sent to him in Chicago. So,
what would be a better storyline, Lynnell, if Cam Boozer played for Chicago, or from a Chicago perspective, if they drafted another North Carolina Tar Heel in the top 5?
Well, they've had their turn at drafting North Carolina guys, not in the top 5, but I think the better story is probably Boozer, just because of what he meant to Chicago and what he was.
Did he mean more to Chicago than Utah? Because I guess Utah could take him at 3. Carlos played at Utah for a little bit too.
He did. I just think that's the more interesting piece. The UNC, the Bulls fans have been chasing that ghost for years. Like, come on, man. It's not going to happen again. It's Michael. It's y'all GOAT. Just my thought.
Let's go to Johnny in Atlanta. Johnny, where are you? 310-840-4910. Johnny, where are you on the top of the draft?
I'm going Caleb Wilson. And Lil, have you watched AAU basketball? You watched AJ DeBoski play for Utah Elite. He really wasn't. He was a crybaby out there. He was mad. People was getting physical with him. He was asking for fake fouls, and that's why he shot so percentage in the his mid-range game in college. So I'm with what's his name? College film is better than AAU. AAU is manipulated by your name. So I seen Caleb Wilson play with Game Elite out of Georgia, and year before his senior year, he was the number 1 player coming out. I don't think he played his senior year because he played with Holy Innocents, that preparatory school. So I'm a big Caleb Wilson fan. So he's got a better upside. He's 6'10", and he got a good mid range. You saw when they played against each other, he dominated. And I didn't see him play against Utah Elite or not. I don't understand. But if you go check back, look at Game Elite against Utah State or Utah Elite, I bet Game Elite won them. So I'm with what's the name about the college game. College game is better than AAU.
My name is Josh. It's good to hear from you. There goes Johnny in Atlanta.
Johnny's
Who, me?
working late.
I'm the jerk?
Come on, so my name is Josh. He knows your name is Josh. It's on the damn rejoin. It's on the graphic. Johnny's up late. He's tired. He forgot your name for a second. He's be lucky he don't think your Hooba stank.
Now, this is where you draw the line. You're mean to all those Detroit Pistons fans, but you draw
Johnny,
the line
Johnny
here.
hit a soft spot because Johnny sounds like somebody that's familiar with the AAU circuit, and which some of you ridiculous fans continue to try to disrespect, pretending like you know anything about basketball when you know nothing. I have been holding on to that for entirely too long, and I apologize, and I'm sorry for that.
What did you say?
Nothing. 310-840-4910. I'm turning my mic off.
All right, he's turning his mic off, and maybe he'll turn it back on. 310-840-4910. Next on Westwood One Sports Night.
Tomorrow night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26. Hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. What's your team's toughest stretch? And where are the wins? We'll tell you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Part of me, Danny California.
What did you say about my mama?
Red Hot Chili Peppers. In 20 minutes, maybe 15, I just want to reserve some space for Lynnell to espouse more music takes. Because the audience isn't privy to what we're privy to. Sometimes the show behind the show is more interesting than the one on the air, where Lynnell just fires off a handful of things. So whether it's the new Drake album coming out or something else, I think having some space where Lynnell, he could put his thoughts together and figure out what might be most interesting to the audience about his musical taste, we can get to in just a bit. Are you cleaning your screen as we're talking right now? YouTube and on X? What are you cleaning it with? Curious.
I have a paper towel.
You're cleaning a screen with a paper towel.
Yes.
Like that might scratch the screen if you use a paper towel.
Scratch-proof screen. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's nice. 310-840-4910 if you want in. Brandon in Chicago wants in on the big story of the night. The Detroit Pistons blew a 9-point lead in the final 3 minutes of regulation, goes to overtime, and Cleveland holds on to win it. Cleveland up 3-2 as the series goes back to Cleveland. Brandon, where are you on whether this basketball game was won or lost tonight?
What up, B?
Hey, what's good, fellas? Thanks for taking my call, man. First thing, I got to agree with Josh, man. The overall product, from the tournament compared to the playoffs, hands down has been the NCAA tournament, man. You look at the physicality of how the refs officiated the games. I thought they let a lot go. And then, to the point tonight about, the Pistons head coach calling about the refs. In the final championship game in the tournament, UConn was the foul disparity, going in early into the second half was heavily, favored in for Michigan. At the end of the game, they ended up, being 28-16. That being said, Danny Hurley didn't blame the refs. He called out on his team, and so did his players. But what I want everybody to do is look, if you don't know about it, the Jordan rules. 3 years it took Michael to figure out how to beat the Pistons. And, when he did, it was because of Phil and Tex Winter, developing the triangle and, focusing more on Michael giving up the ball and then moving off the ball. And, if you look at today's NBA, when they got rid of hand checking, I think it was like in 2004, points went up exponentially, and I think the NBA did that because the league was without Jordan. And that's what makes Jordan the GOAT. He had to deal with all that physicality and still be the best of all time. And, that allowed for Steve Nash to win the MVP 2 years and, boost perimeter play. And, you look at Brunson, I don't think he would be that way, because of the physicality at that time, and especially SGA. I don't think he would be having the numbers he's having if he was dealing with the Jordan rules. And I think that's what Cade needs to figure out, is how to give up the ball and move off the ball. And I don't know if it's going to take him 3 years to do that, but go ahead.
I agree with you. I mentioned that earlier, man. Him and Anthony Edwards, throughout the course of this postseason, when they've been doubled, getting rid of it quicker, not letting the double team come. Like, I think it's different when you invite the double team 30 feet away from the basket rather than when you're at the free throw line and below. Him and Anthony Edwards, man, when you do get rid of it too, relocate. Make yourself keep moving so the ball has to keep moving around the perimeter so you don't let the defense get set. I thought both of those two dudes are young, great players, but learning here on the fly in real time. But I think Cade's got more of an excuse than anybody. Like, Detroit has done a horrible job putting a team around him. Like, he is carrying them right now and has carried them throughout the regular season. Like, he needs help.
Brandon.
What he's
appreciate
done
the
is
call. There was
impressive
a lot.
to this point.
There was a lot there. Here's the thing. Detroit has put. They just didn't add a second scorer. Like the rest of
Pretty
this
big deal,
roster
Josh.
is really good. Sure, I mean,
You
people
got to
in the
have it to
front
win a
office-
title. Got to
yeah,
have it.
that's fine. That's fine. But we're talking about Detroit in the title conversation. So, did they succeed in putting a roster together that should win the title? No. They didn't add a second scorer. And they could have. They could have found somebody like an Ayo DeSumo at the deadline. Or
They're missing Malik Beasley
Minnesota got
bad
him.
right now.
Sure. So I'm not going to fault Detroit's management, who actually put together a pretty good team, just not a title contending team, and that's okay in a sport where only 2 teams probably can win it all, maybe 3.
Yeah.
That's not an indictment too much on the front office. I didn't expect the NBA playoffs to get a drive-by there from Brandon. Didn't expect that in talking about the NCAA tournament. My view's always been, yes, the NCAA tournament's the greatest postseason in American sports, but in terms of the finish, the NBA finals generally are the best. I don't know if that's going to be the case this year, though. I don't know. See, if we get Oklahoma City, San Antonio in the Western Finals, that's going to be better than anything we get in the NBA Finals, right?
I would think so. I mean, I'm not giving the Knicks. I still, despite what they've done to this point, I need to see it again in the Eastern Conference Finals for me to really have confidence in New York in the finals to have a puncher's chance. I think we've been saying this for a couple of months.
None of those teams are going to beat OKC or San Antonio.
I agree with you. If I'm being real, like I don't really give New York much of a shot. I think the team in the East that has the best shot of knocking off either OKC.
Don't do it. Stop.
Or San Antonio's Cleveland.
No,
bro.
no.
Like,
They're...
So here's why. It's about the offense and the switchability and their ability for Evan Mobley to switch out on the guards, their ability in a pinch for Jared Allen to be able to switch out on the guards. I think it's what they can be defensively.
As a reminder, Thursday night's show on Westwood One, the NFL schedule release is from 8 to 10 p.m. Learn all about the marquee games that are going to take place, including all the primetime matchups that you're going to hear on our network throughout the year. The show will be hosted by Scott Graham and by Mike Golick, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Super Bowl champion and Seahawks star Leonard Williams among the lineup of guests who will be on the program. Don't miss it. Tomorrow, 8 to 10 p.m., or I guess tonight, depending on when you're listening, 8 to 10 p.m., it is Westwood One Sports NFL schedule release show. Be sure to catch our show soon after that. D-Day, do you think Lynnell still has hot fire music takes in the tank to deliver this hour, or is he washed at this point and we need to go to the pen? Like, do you think he has more in the tank?
Why don't you ask him?
I feel like going to him.
You're not asking like him lets me know that you know he has something in the tank.
I mean, when am I ever...
I view him like I'm going to the pitcher in the 8th, and the guy wants to finish the game. So if I ask if he's feeling all right, regardless if he's feeling all right, he's going to say, Coach, put me out there. I'm going to be out there in the night. I'm feeling awesome, feeling amazing.
Well, you guys just have such drastic music tastes. I mean, one person's favorite artist is Drake, Future, and Gunna, and the other one is Coldplay and the Avett Brothers.
And the Killers.
Literally any take that you two give to one another is going to sound like a scolding hot take to the other.
See, but I know all these people he's talking about, though. I know the music, at least. If I asked him to name a Killer song, I don't know if
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Josh. You don't know you're familiar with. That's how I would put it. You don't know Gunna. You don't know Jeffrey Lamar Williams. You know what I'm saying? Who was I just referring to? Jeffrey Lamar Williams.
I have no idea.
Young Thug.
Exactly.
Jeez,
Come on. Young Thug, Jeffrey, made an album in a dress.
I don't I know who Young Thug is, and I know some songs.
You're familiar with him. You don't know, I have some deep. You don't know about Milk Marie, okay? You don't.
That sounds like a porn
I used
star.
to.
I don't have a Milk Marie bag. I'm sorry. I'm on Josh's side with that one. I don't know nothing about no Milk Marie.
You don't know about Milk Marie. You don't know about Wood. You know what I'm saying? WOODWOULD. Wood is what the song is called.
Huh. I know.
You're familiar with them. That's my point. You don't know them. I'm familiar with John Fanta. I don't know John Fanta. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to John.
What's John Fanta have to do with this?
I'm just trying to give you an analogy. I'm familiar. Like, if I'm being real, love our brethren here at Westwood One Sports. I'm familiar with Black and Abdallah. I don't know Black and Abdallah.
Do you know the groups that Denton just said though?
The Avid Brothers,
the Killers.
So when I did my Commanders pop quiz out of Commanders training camp, their long snapper said that was if he could listen to one music song pregame, one artist pregame for the rest of his career, he chose the Avid Brothers.
Wow. Linemen love the Avett Brothers. Jordan Gross the same way.
That is there are checklists for offensive linemen and long snappers, and that is
For sure. Certain age. If you were an offensive lineman in the 90s, odds are you love Metallica. If you are a hockey player that's 30 or up, odds are you love Nickelback.
Nickelback. What about
Why
Limp
did you
Bizkit?
say it that way? Why
I'm
did you
a big
say
Limp
it that
Bizkit
way?
guy. What, Nickelback?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on Limp Bizkit though.
Lynnell's music takes are next.
Tomorrow night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26, hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. What's your team's toughest stretch, and where are the wins? We'll tell you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
You know this song.
I do.
Lynnell Willingham, first
So mad.
Red Hot Chili Pepper song that he claims to know. This isn't Other Side, is it? What song is this? The one I trust, Selena. Can't Stop. Thank you. Not going to take credit for coming up with that on the spot. Oliver told me in my ear. So, Lynnell didn't know who the Red Hot Chili Peppers were, and he's learned in the past hour. So, we thought we'd just ISO ball this. Like James Harden fishing for fouls at the end of the game tonight. That's what we're going to do in this segment. Lynnell has music takes he wants to espouse. He's excited about the Drake album that's going to drop in less than 24 hours. He's off on Thursdays and Fridays, but he's going to be up till 3 a.m. I'm not going to use the expression that you said off air in talking about listening to Drake.
That was amazing,
but it was very sexual. It was weird. And, yeah, you're very excited about this Drake album. Where do you want to take your music take segment before we move things along and get to Graham's gambling and Weird But True in about 15 minutes?
I'm curious to know how people are preparing. You know, normally when the weatherman tells you that there's going to be like a big snowstorm, you go to the grocery store and you buy all the toilet paper and you buy all the paper towels and you buy all the eggs and everything that you need. How are people preparing for the drop of Iceman tomorrow at midnight? What are people doing? Like, are you going to a special listening party? This is probably the most highly anticipated album release in a while, man. Maybe since COVID.
Are you just talking about for Drake, or are you talking in general?
No, I'm talking about in hip hop. We haven't got first of all, Drake is the best hip hop artist.
I was about to say, you're not going to compare it to Taylor Swift every time she
gives
drops
a rat's ass about Taylor Swift, Josh. We're talking about Aubrey Drake
world
Graham.
I mean, my last name's Graham, and I'm not going to try to pretend that an Aubrey Graham album drop is the same as a Taylor Swift album drop.
You're right, and I'm not going to try to argue that. But we haven't gotten a solo Yeah, it's hip hop, right? We haven't gotten a solo Drake project since 2023 for all the dogs. It's the last time we got one. And I'm excited for it, man. He's teased us. This is the first time we're hearing him on a solo project since the infamous Kendrick Lamar beef, where Kendrick Lamar lied about him and assassinated his character through lies and then ended up getting sued and put out worse music.
None of those things are true, but go on. It's crazy to me how you simp for him. Like, you are a victim. When did you become this victim guy?
So it's not that I'm a victim. I am a fan. I let the music supersede everything when it comes to Drake.
But his music sucks.
How could you say that?
Because it's the same thing. You literally told me that you thought this was AI.
Since 2018, maybe.
I did say I thought the leak.
You thought this was AI because he does the same play. He drops it to test it and be like, maybe I should make an adjustment.
He's giving testers. He's
DJ,
a drug
answer
dealer.
Lynnell's question. How are you, as a lover of music, preparing for us being on air tomorrow night together and preparing for the Drake album, preparing
I
for
ain't
Iceman?
listening to that thing.
Denton is the most anti-Drake. We should change the name from Denton to anti-Drake.
Careful, you're going to get me sued.
Literally, I don't even want to do that to you, brother. But no, I am someone that continues through all the adversity, through all the trash talk. I continue to ride for Drake because I'm loyal, and you only live once. You only live once.
He would throw you out with the bathwater.
Yeah, well,
he would take your girl, bang her, and then make you look like the villain because he gonna play victim.
Can I be honest?
How old's your girl?
I don't want to get. Oh, wow.
How do you feel about him making up with Future, but nobody else? That's kind of weird, isn't it? Because Future started the entire thing.
Oh my God, this Lynnell music take segment.
I wouldn't say that
the Denton music take segment, and I
feel like this is an episode of the Joe Budden podcast. This is.
Well, he took shots at Budden in this new one. Apparently,
He did.
And LeBron.
And LeBron.
People are.
Lynnell's torn.
The LeBron stand in me is not happy that two of my favorites are not playing nice with one another.
He was also it's not like the greatest line ever. He's played for 4 teams in 20 years. It's not that bad.
Who knows if that was really even Drake?
Yeah,
This is how confident Drake is in his drop. He didn't even give us a single for this.
See,
where's the single?
As a lover,
what do you mean he did? This drop's been going on for 18 months.
I don't have.
This has been
This
has been a long.
I don't have a real dog in the fight, but I'll say, I like some Drake singles that have come out the last dozen years, but there hasn't been an album I love since nothing was the same.
Dozen years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Drake disrespect is in the Gunna disrespect. I see you in the chat.
There's no
I don't
album.
peek at the
There's
chat
no
anymore
album
during
that's
shows.
as good. There's no album out there that Drake's put out that compares to "Damn" by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh my
There's
gosh!
no album out there
that
compares
mainstream
to
ass album. That mainstream NBA playoffs on ESPN ass album. Miss me with that. I got Are
we To Pimp a Butterfly? Or
Wait,
didn't you?
Hold on. Didn't you literally just say you're still with Drake because you're loyal?
Can I cut my mic off again? Because I don't. When you guys gang up on me about Drake, it puts me in these peculiar, awkward, uncomfortable spaces. Because I'm going to defend him to the death of me. I am a Aubrey Drake Graham stan.
Wait, I thought you were just riding for the weekend too. That's one of his biggest ops.
It is.
Are you a fan of more of a fan of Aubrey Graham or Josh Graham?
Oh, you set yourself up for that one.
Josh, you're my man, bro.
I
have not met you in person or Drake. Until I meet you in person, I'm a Drake Graham stan over Josh.
I mean, look, man, Drake made trophies. Trophies a banger. Some of Drake's early stuff
The fact
is
that
crazy.
the fact that you feel like you got to dig that deep in the archive to list a banger, it's part of the insult. It's a backhanded compliment from Denton.
It is.
100%.
But you know
I
why
remember
I
when
brought
Take
that up?
Care came
Spotify.
out my freshman year in college, and it was just a running joke. All of our friends were like, "You gonna be like Drake and cry in the shower? Is that what you're gonna do?"
What did Spotify remind you of? The lesser music streaming app, by the way?
I listened to Trophies a bunch because it was my college radio intro song.
That's pretty good.
Because you know ball, D-Day.
You switched
Mine
up?
was J. Cole's Workout.
What?
It's true.
There's so many other J. Cole songs. Josh, you freaky
that was the
69
song.
God you. Like, Workout.
That was a
Hold
song.
on. Don't call him a 69 God. There's a double meaning to that. Don't call him that.
I won't.
I won't.
I won't wear that. That won't be on my bio.
Yeah, I'll explain that to you in the break. It's not great.
Well, I apologize if I offended you or any other 69 gods out there. That's not what my intent was.
No, we can offend that. We can offend those people. They are not. They're on lists. You don't want to be with them. Say it really quick, and you might pick it up.
Any more music takes you wanted to espouse before we get done with this hour? Someone might be listening for the first time and saying, "Dude, I've been hearing a lot about this Westwood One Sports Night. Need to throw it on.
I feel like
just to see what they're talking about." And here we are, and
To
I'm
me,
proud of it.
ever
I'll
since-
put this on the mantle. This segment.
Ever since Gunna was free.
The way you defend Aubrey Graham to the death, I will defend this segment.
Ever since Sergio Kitchens was released from the Gwinnett County Jail, in the Fulton County Jail, excuse me, no one has touched him in terms of hip-hop drops. Gunna has gone 3 for 3 since he's gotten out. This is Drake's first bite at the apple.
Second.
Is it? Well, certified, not certified. The joint with Party Next Door, it was a collab. So, like, I don't view it as solo Drake. This is solo Drake. And we'll see where it stacks up compared to Sergio Kitchens. Why do I keep calling him by his real government name? Because he's my brother.
I'm the one with the last name Graham.
Blood is
Big
thicker
Gunna
than
fan.
family names.
Yeah.
Got it.
I
would be great.
It's
if
the greatest
23andMe
rebranded
came
hip
out.
hop history, what we're witnessing from Gunna. Greatest rebranded hip hop history.
Oh, we're talking about Gunna now. Sorry. I was
Who the
going
hell
back
is
to Drake.
Cool Keith? If you have to call yourself cool, odds are you're probably not that cool, pal.
That's
It's like me calling myself Good Sports Take Willingham.
And Mount Doom goes silly though.
Oh, you know that you're familiar with
It's got more soul than a sock with a hole.
Make sure, if you haven't already, see, this is a way you can engage with us. Westwood One Sports Night on YouTube. Dude, he's been ready for this segment the entire show. D-Day is ready. He's like just ready for the Drake to
Big
come
man,
up
I've been ready
today.
for this segment since a weird, wacky streamer got hand-delivered the release date. I wrote May 14th.
Come on!
This man
Now
loves
you're-
his streamers.
Now you're crapping on his marketing ploy, on his rollout. There's nothing that Drake can do right in Denton's eyes. Nothing.
You could do it.
It was a masterful rollout.
Do an
I
interview.
would invite you on to like recap the Drake album, but I don't think there's any point because like I don't kind of like all the songs are predictable and the lines are predictable. I think your take is predictable.
Dude,
Is there
I'm
a
gonna put
scenario
on-
you call in and say this isn't good?
I'm gonna put on my dark $17.99 H&M shades. I'm gonna turn the lights off in this bad boy. I almost said in this B word. I'm gonna cut the lights off in this bad boy, and there is going to be.
Linnell's hitting the town this weekend, though. I'm excited.
Oh
for him.
my goodness!
He's
Oh,
hitting the
I'm
town.
outside. I'm outside this week.
He is
Are you kidding me? A
outside
Drake
this
drop?
weekend.
What? Sunday night, 12 after 12, baby. Catch me.
Graham's. We have Graham's gambling to do, and we got Weird But True. We got some money to make because I'm gambling again. Next on Westwood One Sports Night.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Really? This is what we're doing. I take it the Dodgers won tonight.
Is this the guy that sings "You Got a Friend in Me"?
Yes.
I can tell by the voice.
Randy Newman.
Excuse me, I'm just Over here trying to recover after Denton told me I look like Jeff Ross. I mean, just shoot him.
Like the
send
comedian.
Him,
the
whoever
roast
we're
master
sending,
general.
whoever we're sending the Pistons and the damn Cavs, Denton can go right the hell with them.
I am very impressed. You're like, this is the guy who sings "You've Got a Friend in Me," Randy Newman. There you go. But do you know why Randy Newman's playing? Have you learned your lesson?
No.
That's what.
I've
I love LA.
Learned.
Every time the Dodgers.
Oh yes, I have. Yes, I have learned my lesson. You know why Randy Newman's playing? Because the K-pop sensation Shohei Ohtani went 7 scoreless.
Dodgers are still not even leading their division.
It's only a month into the season, pal.
Month and a half.
Not enough sample size.
The Dodgers, how many consecutive games have they lost? What are you laughing about? What did Oliver do?
Oliver gets in my ear and goes, he's fully Japanese, you know. I
It is one of the great corrections. It's a great correction from Oliver. He's doing a great job.
About to start crying, bro.
Telling you what's happening. But what you should know is that the Dodgers got beaten by the Atlanta Braves 2 out of 3, and then lost 2 out of 3 so far against the Giants. And they have one more game left in that series. Hopefully they don't lose 3 out of 4.
Oh,
D-Day, what am I missing here? You're
I'm laughing at
as
something
well.
else now because Denton told me I look like Jeff Ross. I am like, I'm
The Roast Master General. I feel like I need to bring people in on what exactly is happening with this show. From
It
time
was
to
an
time.
incidental comment, I swear. It's been a long running theme outside of the show today that Lynnell thinks he's balding.
Yeah,
Now Lynnell has
scratching
made
his head.
Lynnell has been making fun of me for 3 years because I am follically challenged, and I didn't even
Bald is
intend-
beautiful, though.
Yeah, it's sure. I'd rather have hair. Like, are we serious? I'd rather have hair. I looked silly when I had long hair. Are you kidding me? My headband game was crazy. I just have a bunch of headbands I can't wear anymore. But then we were talking about the Kevin Hart roast during the commercial break.
Yeah.
And I didn't necessarily mean it at the time, but the timing of it was fantastic. If Lynnell loses his hair, like Jeff Ross's body looks tough, man.
He just spit out his entire drink.
Oh my God! Guys, bro, like he's such a jerk, bro. Like that's
You
crazy.
You
Just
can't be
repeated
bald
the
with
same
no
thing
facial
he said
hair.
to you a few minutes ago.
You
Spit the
can't be
full
bald
drink
with no
out.
facial hair. It's a bad look. You don't know where the chin starts. You don't know where everything. Like, it's just one ramp. Like Lynnell, thankfully has a jaw. I can't tell where Jeff Ross's jaw is. Like his jaw could be his nipples for all I know. I have no idea. Like his body is just one straight line.
Do you realize they only bring on Jeff Ross so because everyone could literally take shots at him? Like Draymond Green had a Jeff Ross
No,
joke.
they brought Jeff Ross on because he's the Roast Master General.
He is, but he's also the
master of the
ugliest
roast.
human walking God's green earth.
He
I'm
is a
sorry.
terribly
I've
looking
actually
human.
been roasted by Jeff Ross before.
Are you serious?
What?
Did
I
you
was
get him
sitting
back?
I was sitting in the front row of a show at the comedy club, and he just roasted me for about 5 minutes.
What do you say? Let me get my notepad
Some
out.
things I can't say on air, but the gist is like, wow, this guy like left his basement and certain activities at his parents' house when they're not at home, and
Imagine
there's
if
a
you
lot
would have
of
told Jeff Ross about your cousin.
another off-air random pull from
I'm sorry.
Lynnell. It's just so we're trying. This is an inclusive show here. We
It
want
is. No,
people to feel
everybody's
like they belong, and that's
Every
it. We
letter.
just a lot of
do you want
references
the
that people
full-
might not understand. How about we get to handing out bets? Because one thing we can all
Let's do
get
it.
behind is making some money, and then weird but trues after that. It's time for Graham's Gambling.
Sitting back, count money all day, you know. It's time for Graham's Gambling. Let's make some money.
Got 2 underdogs, and I have a plus money hockey bet to place as well. I'm taking, because there is no NBA tomorrow or Thursday night, I'm taking the Pistons plus 3.5 at the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think trusting Cleveland as a favorite is a mistake. Take whoever is getting 3.5 points in this series, and you'll probably be in good shape. And I'm taking the T-Wolves plus 4.5 against the Spurs. I think Minnesota at every turn has proven to be super tough, and I think being at home with their season on the line, a team that's accomplished so much with guys who have been to the Western Conference Finals before, who also figured out a way against Denver in round one, I think that team is going to bow up and figure out a way to force a Game 7. I do. So I think T-Wolves plus 4.5. I think the Pistons plus 3.5. We're going to take the two dogs there. And in hockey, I think I don't put a lot of stock in home ice advantage. And I think Montreal is the better team between the Sabres and the Canadiens. So I'm going to take Montreal plus 100 to win in Buffalo on Thursday night. Take a 3-2 series lead with a chance to close out on home ice in Game 6. So there you go. Montreal plus 100. It's even odds. You take the underdogs with both the Pistons and the T-Wolves. Those are our bets that have been doing very well in these playoffs, I'm happy to say.
I'm going to reserve my comment about the picks that you just gave. I totally disagree with all of them.
That's fine.
Well, that's
one
okay.
One of us is going to be right.
One of us is going to be wrong.
I know you feel super strongly about the Buffalo Sabres. I get it. Like, Buffalo has, Tage Thompson and, Lindy Ruff. They won on the road in Game 4. I get that's where you're at.
Yeah.
And I understand it. But I just think in a close series, and I know you're probably not a big Dobish guy, but Dobish has been really good for Montreal in this series. It's okay for you to disagree with it.
What
That's
you
why
are doing
Buffalo
right now is
favored
just
in it.
disgusting. What you are
Well, I know
keep
you
getting
disagree
choked
with
up.
all my picks, so I get it. You like the Sabres. It's fine. They're at home. It's going to be a rowdy crowd. They got those.
I didn't even
little
like
Saber
Star Wars,
sticks
pal.
that you can drink in.
I think I like the Sabres.
They got those little saber swords that you can drink out of. They're like a.
It's got nothing
beer.
on a. It's got nothing on a USFL beer snake. I'll tell you that.
Carolina Hurricanes have beer skates. You can drink out of a skate. Will Dalton got one.
That's trifling, bro. Will Dalton put his lips on a boot?
It's like a plastic skate that they sell that you can drink.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a real boot with beer in it. I know the Russians do that.
People do that. Hockey fans, they like drinking out of their shoes.
I've seen Alex Ovechkin do it.
It's a thing.
Shout out to Ovechkin.
It's a thing that they do. So I'm sorry to hear you're all in on the Sabres. I understand that's the source of your disagreement. What is your weird but true?
I don't support this little bully minion punk Aiden Ross, but he knows how to get the people going. There is a brand risk event coming up this weekend, Brand Risk 14. Weird but true on the card, on the main event, Johnny Manziel, Ray J, and Super Hot Fire, the battle rapper. Super intrigued by it. Johnny Manziel in this photo, if you're watching on the YouTube live stream, looks old as hell. That looks like a guy that has participated and played with his nose way too much. I don't know what Johnny Manziel's got going on in today's day and age, but for him to be taking, brand risk event deals to box must be a little low on cash.
Did you ever watch Eastbound and Down? Peter Powers, Danny McBride.
Any relation to Deuce McBride?
No. But there is. It's one of the funniest comedic shows there is, and he did a lot of cocaina, and he.
You familiar with the Migos song "Cocaina"?
He was trying to get he tried to he was trying to get back into the majors, but he needed a job, so he became an elementary school PE teacher or like a middle school PE teacher, and he was telling his story, and he was talking about going to rehab, and one of the kids said, Mr. Powers, what you said you went to rehab. What did you hurt? Hurt my nose.
Nah. Jesus.
So maybe Johnny Manziel hurt his nose, perhaps.
The bigger story is not that Johnny Manziel's on this. those folks out there in the youngest in charge movement, I guess is what we'll call you. One, I need to make a P.O. box so you all can start sending me allergy medicine. I'm ready. Ray J, dog. Ray J told the world that he had a terminal illness like 2 weeks ago, bro, and that his heart was like bleeding and that he was going to die. And I was at a brand risk event, boxing. I don't know. It didn't hit hard for you guys. It hit hard for me. Anybody out there that knows the saga of Ray J here recently, he's been tripping. It's all for attention. Ray J's had like the craziest career in terms of
Ray
like
J
staying
wants
relevant.
Attention.
Yeah, shocker, right? He is attention though. Ray J's a needle mover, man. Are you kidding me? He's a needle mover. He's one of the biggest stars on the Zeus network.
Some have seen his needle move.
Freaky man counting money all day. There you go. You can't help it, you know.
It was sitting right there.
Oh, so was she.
I was thinking about saying that sentence. I decided not to. So there we go. I've literally never had a music conversation about Ray J. Not once.
Are you not familiar with Sexy Can I?
Oh, I'm familiar. I just don't think it's ever led to.
No, I was not asking you that either. So let's relax. That would be me calling you sexy. It's not what I was doing. Anywho.
What up?
Maybe the
I'm
following
saying
show.
anytime Ray J has come up in conversation, it hasn't been for musical purposes.
He's a mogul, though, dog. Like, anybody out there that's hating on Ray J, Oliver Popular, he is a mogul, dog. He's one of the most recognizable figures in pop culture.
Let's go to Tony, who's in Montreal, who apparently...
Oh, great.
Did he have anything to add on my bet? See, Lynnell is all in on the Sabres here. I'm on Montreal, Tony.
Tony. Tony, are you excited about Drake?
Drake, yeah. Why am I excited about Drake? Why would I be excited?
Because you're
about
from
him?
Montreal. He's a Canadian like you.
No. Get it, Lynnell. Come on, man. He's a 4-1-6. I'm a 5-1-4.
And that's on me.
That's Toronto, bro. That's Toronto.
My bad,
Get it
Tony.
straight, man.
My bad, brother.
I could have told you that.
I know. You just give me a job, but I do like Drake. I do like Drake. By the way, I do like him, but he promos Toronto sports, and you know what? They just fired their coach today. Laviolette was on Canadian radio saying how much of a mess that place is. They
I know about Peter Laviolette.
You do?
But just
he was a Caps.
Of course I do.
With the Caps.
Yeah,
he was. I'm a Carolina Hurricanes fan. He won the cup with us.
He won with the Hurricanes. He took over when that was a half season. The Hurricanes fired their coach. And Laviolette, who's a good hockey guy, he is a former hockey player. He knows a lot about hockey, and I respect him because obviously a good French Canadian that came down to the U.S. and obviously got U.S. citizenship now. But
what was the purpose of your call?
No, I'm with you, bro. You originally you were calling out Dobesh, and you're telling me you guys are actually you're right. Lynnell's wrong. There's no way. I mean, okay, we lost in Montreal the other night, but the city is on fire, guys. Just watch the warm up, and when they light the torch at the beginning of the game, you guys would understand that is one hell of a show. They bring out all their former captains and their Hall of Famers, and it's, you know what, give us a break. It's 32 years that we haven't been in, and everybody should be pulling for us. We're the only Canadian city left.
We're the underdogs, baby.
I might try to take Lynnell to an Eastern Conference Finals game in Raleigh.
Shout out to Tony.
Hey, listen, Lynnell knows the hockey guys are good with the beautiful women up in Montreal.
Sir.
We gotta bring Lynnell up here. We got to bring Lynnell, that handsome guy, up here and have some fun up Montreal.
Come on, baby. I'm down for a good time, Tony.
All right.
Come on, man. Come on.
Go Habs.
My man.
Go Canadians. There goes Tony.
Shout out to Tony, man.
I didn't
Tony's
know
trouble.
Montreal
I'll tell you
was
what,
known for the
on a
ladies.
serious note, Tony is trouble. Every time Tony calls in, Tony is geeked up, overly excited. I rock with Tony. That's my man.
I hope Tony comes down to the Eastern Conference Finals when Montreal wins the next two.
On your dime?
No. but maybe I'll buy him a beer
Tony.
skate.
Tony, I would at least pretended like I was going to pay for you. And then off air, I would have told you, brother, I'm
I could
broke.
buy him a beer skate. Maybe do that.
Buy him a
Figure that out. Yeah, get yourself one. Did you have anything else on Weird But True?
No, because you guys no-sold me on Ray J being a mogul. So that was pointed at you, Oliver Popular. You no-sold me on Ray J being a pop mogul.
Is Ray J a pop mogul?
Hold on. I thought we sent him wherever the Pistons and the Cavs are going. After he told me I look like Jeff Ross, we don't need to hear from D-Day today. The rest of the night. Damn.
He is a mogul, though. He has his hands on a bunch of different things.
That's why he's my advocate, my wise man, my counsel.
Believe it or not,
He agreed with me.
today has been a substantive news day in the NFL. Quite a bit has happened, and we need to talk about it. Next.
Tomorrow night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26. Hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. What's your team's toughest stretch? And where are the wins? We'll tell you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
Ring the bell. Last call for phone calls, 310-840-4910. Tell Lynnell why he's wrong about the Buffalo Sabres winning Game 5 against the Montreal Canadiens later tonight. He's passionate about it. He's pro-Canada when it comes to Drake, but anti-Canada when it comes to the Montreal Canadiens. Sounds like hypocrisy to me. 310-840-4910. Lynnell,
yes, sir.
Big day of NFL headlines. The NFL schedule continues to leak. Make sure you're listening 8 to 10 p.m. for the schedule being announced in its entirety with a Westwood One specialty show that's going to feature Seahawks Super Bowl champion Leonard Williams among the guests joining us. Scott Graham, Mike Golick, going to be hosting it. It'll be fun from 8 to 10 p.m. Kevin Harlan will join us on Westwood One Sports Night soon after the fact. But between the NFL schedule and the Devon Achane news and the Malik Nabers news, what do you look at as saying is the most significant headline to you?
Honestly, dog, it's going to go back to me laying on the medical table of one Dr. James Weiss, MD. The going back in for the scar tissue breakup and removal is a really big deal for the New York Giants, man. I keep going back to, and maybe I'm coloring the picture wrong. It feels like everybody's got them atop of their, quote, had the best offseason list. When you talk about bringing in Coach Harbaugh, you talk about, revamping the defense in the secondary, bringing in Greg Newsome. You talk about drafting Maui Noah. They had a good draft. They did. My big question for New York, because to me, going in on Malik Nabers and having to remove scar tissue, I think that provides a significant, setback to his recovery, return to play timetable. I'm thinking 2 to 4 weeks potentially added on to whenever he was expected to come back, because you don't just go under the knife, break up scar tissue, and then start jumping rope the next day. It's not how that works. You look at their pass catching options, Josh, outside of Malik Nabers, it totally changes the complexion of the offense. We're relying on Malachi Fields. We're relying on oft-injured Darnell Mooney, Darius Slayton, the most overrated number 2 in football.
That's why I push back on the Giants having a great draft. I don't know about Arvell Reese. I don't love him at 5. I would have loved for them to draft a receiver, maybe Jordan Tyson in that spot. And waiting until your 4th pick in round 3 to address that position when you know that at best your Malik Nabers is coming off an injury and you don't really have a good number 2 option. Didn't love it. Not a big fan of it. I was fine with Maui Noah, but that's as far as I'll go with that being the 10th pick, and you gave up Dexter Lawrence to make that pick. Just wait and see on the draft. Because, again, I wasn't the biggest Arvell Reese fan.
I hear you on that, but that was a team that, some pundits were saying is like a sexy worst to first pick. There's not a chance in hell.
They were mine when they got John Harbaugh, and
Yeah.
if I would have loved their draft, I probably would feel that way. But after they gave up Dexter Lawrence, which I don't think is a replaceable player, and not being the biggest Arvell Reese fan, and now this news with Malik Nabers, they aren't that. Like, would anybody push back? I guess there definitely would be some on Dallas being in the best situation out of anybody in the NFC East right now.
I think it's a strong argument. I think it's a strong argument to be made. And even as a Commander fan, I have to give credit where credit is due. Their biggest Achilles heel, their biggest weakness, all of a sudden with the addition of, Caleb Downs and Kobe Durant and Jalen Thompson, their biggest weakness could all of a sudden be a strength by the time we kick off this 2026 season. They're honestly the most fascinating team in the NFC to me, talking about Dallas, because I can talk myself into a scenario, Josh, in which they're the best team in the conference. I can talk myself into that.
The draft again, I'll be critical as well.
You didn't like their draft?
Nick Saban, hot Mike. I thought the edge from UCF was a reach at 24, and you don't take a receiver until the 7th round. And
do you need
someone
one?
Just has to answer. If George Pickens doesn't show, what happens?
That's not a thing.
No one's
though.
giving
Like,
me. Why not?
That he's going to show. We've gotten like he signed. He's already showed. He's in the building. He signed the tender.
He signed the tender.
Right.
That doesn't mean he's showing up to camp.
Why would he not show up to camp but sign the tender? You could have just not signed the tender.
You have to sign the tender to get traded.
He's not getting traded, dude. I don't see that as the case.
I asked the question.
His camp's got to be realistic.
If George Pickens doesn't show, especially given who his agent is and what happened last year with Micah Parsons, if he doesn't show, what happens? The fact that they didn't draft a receiver until the 7th round is crazy, because if you don't have George Pickens for whatever reason, then you got problems.
Their actions tell you. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Their actions tell you that they're not concerned about the availability of one George Pickens. They feel like they have got it on good authority that they've talked to David Mulugeta. They've patched this relationship up. So I think we're on two different sides of the fence with that. I don't believe the George Pickens thing is currently a hangover issue for them and something that they have to worry about. I think the bigger issue for Dallas, and if you want to make qualms about Malachi Lawrence, yeah, maybe a little bit of a reach, but I think just from a juice standpoint, one of the better get-offs that you saw in college football, guy that's got pop, guy that's got burst.
I wish they took Casey Concepcion with that pick. I would have loved that for Dallas.
I just think I don't know. I do love them taking LT Overton. I like what they have as their front seven. You traded for D. Winters from San Francisco. They're a super speedy do-it-all backer. I love maybe love is a stretch. I really am in favor of what Dallas has done defensively.
It seems like you're fighting for your life right now.
Yeah, whenever I consume a lot of water, which is every show, I end up getting these burps. Water makes me burp.
It's not
soda
Mountain
makes me
Dew?
burp. It's not Mountain Dew. This is just good old pure life. Healthy hydration for you.
So you hadn't had soda during the show tonight.
I've not actually cracked this thing open. I have this full 1 liter. That's really not. Yeah, it's pretty full.
It
I
is
poured a
cracked
cup last
open.
show.
By definition, Lynnell, it's half empty.
It is not half empty, Josh. What the hell are you talking about? Look at it. It's not half empty. This is a 1 liter.
Yeah, Lynnell, it's closer to half empty.
I would.
than full.
Sorry, I don't want your opinion, Denton's opinion, or Oliver's opinion on anything that has to do with looking at something and figuring out what's in it, the contents of a bottle. You all are not equipped to answer those questions, my visually challenged friends.
For those watching on Westwood One Sports Night, this is an invitation for people who aren't. You be the judge.
We need to get a
How
My Eyes
full is this
sponsor.
bottle?
That's what we need on this show.
How full is this bottle that Lynnell can hold up for the camera for one more time here? Billy says half full. Just
empty?
say it, Lynnell. Some would say half full. Some would say half empty.
Dog, this is nowhere near half.
And if it's a liter, so even if you're close to half, that's a lot of soda consumption, which might lead to your burping.
This wasn't tonight at all, pal.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and conveniently omit the main detail of the story, Josh. You and Denton, dog. I don't know what type of propaganda y'all were spewing while we were watching the Pistons game. I cannot believe that the man in the bottom corner had the nerve to say, if I cut my hair off, I would look like Jeff Ross.
You're still on the Roastmaster General?
Because, bro, this is a new level. Like Denton's good, bro. He's good. I give credit where credit is due. This was good. He got me. He got me like hell to where I'm trying to crack my eyes sponsor jokes now. Like I don't know what to do. I'm squirming. Denton got my ass, man. I wear it on the chin.
Do you want to talk about the NFL schedule or Devon Achane or the Roastmaster General?
So when we brought Devon Achane up earlier, I just want to know if your thoughts have changed at all in the 2 hours since we've talked about Devon Achane. You were very critical of the decision of a team in Miami's position not being a group that's expected to contend in 26, for them to pay that type of money to a running back, you viewed it as irresponsible. I think when you talk about a guy like Achane, who is one of the most dynamic weapons in the sport, regardless of position, locking him up long term, it's a 4-year deal, right? Let's say they're ready to compete in 2. You've now got arguably one of the best weapons in the sport in the fold in your core. So I get it. They identified him as a long-term piece.
I think handing him that money, though, prohibits you from being in position 2 years from now to contend. That's my problem. Because this is a salary cap sport. When you're spending in one area, that means it limits what you can do in others. And this reeks, again, my position on running backs, they're luxury items. They're sports cars. If you are struggling to pay the mortgage, you shouldn't be buying a Maserati. That's
I hear that.
Where Miami is. And that's what I believe they just did. When you have a new coach and you already are set back a little bit financially with the cap, with Tua, you sign. I feel the problem with this team was not running back. You need to solve the other issues before you're extending a running back. Oh, but he has 1 year left. Yeah, let him play out that year.
Why?
That's fine.
Why cause another issue? When you're Jeff Hafley and you're John Eric Sullivan, think about it though. You're Jeff Hafley, you're John Eric Sullivan. You're coming in here to Miami trying to establish your culture and set the foundation for what you're going to be. You reward a guy like Devon Achane, who's been a good soldier for the franchise, and you don't want him to be a guy that's holding out and being disgruntled. You don't want to camp hold out in year one.
PTSD right now. If I had to hear the expression one more time of Christian McCaffrey was a good soldier, you got to reward that. You have to do it. I'm in North Carolina 6 years ago. It was new head coach Matt Rule. It was Teddy Bridgewater, who showed some flashes as a backup and won a playoff game with Minnesota or whatever. You're bringing this guy in on a 3-year deal. You believe that he can be a guy for you, can help you out. And then Christian McCaffrey, you give him the long-term contract. What it did was made the Panthers not bad enough to get a top player and a top quarterback prospect in the next 3 drafts. It made them mediocre. They won 5 games, then 5 games, then 8 games, then 7 games. And in that stretch, they picked 8th, 6th, and then 8th, and traded up from 8 to 1, multiple first-round picks in order to get the quarterback. When if they would have just bottomed out and rebuilt properly, maybe you're getting a better quarterback than what you got. Looking at you, Lynnell, and how you feel about Bryce Young. And you didn't have to give up multiple ones in order to do it. So in Miami's case, I am not a believer in Malik Willis.
That's where
being
your
a
problem
future quarterback.
is. Yeah.
I believe in him being I view him as Daniel Jones good. I view him as he could be a guy who patches the gap, as Teddy Bridgewater good 5-6 years ago. I think that's what he is, not a franchise quarterback. He's a stopgap guy until you get to the future. The problem is he might be too good that you get to that guy.
I think he is the future. I think he is the future. And there's a reason they decided to pay him the money they decided. They know him more than anybody else does in the National Football League.
That's fine. I mean, Joe Brady was the OC for the Panthers at the time, and he's the one that vouched for Teddy Bridgewater because he came from New Orleans prior to going to LSU. And he was wrong about that.
You got to stop comparing Teddy Bridgewater to Malik Willis from a talent perspective. Like
I
one,
am.
like
one was
one
a
guy's
first-round
got a
pick, one was taken
bazooka
in the third round.
One guy's got a bazooka and is one of the most dynamic athletes at the position in the sport, and the other has ripped his knee apart and had several concussions.
Okay. One was taken in the first round. One was taken in the third.
Yeah, but you just look at the two guys. Like now, pre-injury, Teddy B, different cat, more mobile, can beat you with his feet a little bit better. Not that guy anymore. I look at Malik Willis as a moldable piece of clay, and I think he is the beneficiary.
Teddy Bridgewater now. Is Teddy Bridgewater even playing now?
Right, but I'm saying you stop comparing Malik Willis to him. Like it's not.
No, I'm saying I'm getting PTSD. I'm comparing Devon Achane to Christian McCaffrey, which I think is an apt comparison, and I'm comparing, like the point in the career. Like, hey, Teddy Bridgewater was given
the Panthers in their mind knew, and if the Panthers in their heart of hearts really thought that Teddy Bridgewater was going to be their future at quarterback, and that's stupid.
They did.
That's stupid.
And it didn't work. And that's also part of the reason why I have concerns about Joe Brady in Buffalo. Like Joe Brady, it worked with when Joe Burrow was your quarterback with LSU. It worked when you had you Josh Allen, you're calling plays for him. What happened in Charlotte the one time you didn't have MVP caliber quarterback play? And
I'll be real,
it wasn't great. So I have my concerns about Joe Brady.
I know Bills fans are tortured and have PTSD. The reality is, if Josh Allen didn't piss down his leg, you would have been in the Super Bowl. Like, let's call it what it is. They would have beaten the New England Patriots. They would have beaten the Patriots. And they would have made it to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen fumbled the game away, threw the game away. That's why they lost. I go back to what I said when they initially fired Sean McDermott. Overreaction. Somebody had to fall on the sword. I thought Buffalo did a masterful job getting there. I thought Josh Allen just didn't play well. Bottom line.
Yeah, I wanted to fire Sean McDermott. So I'm with you on that. So no, my opinion hadn't changed on Devon Achane. How excited are you about the NFL schedule release?
I hate that they keep leaking games. It's 2:37 in the damn morning on the East Coast, and I just got a game leak. What do we do? Go to bed, Jordan Schultz, before I get Ian Rappaport to whip that ass.
What'd you get? Whoa, why'd you do that to Jordan Schultz?
Because Jordan Schultz is a fraud.
What?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Why are you doing
he's
this to Jordan Schultz?
because he is a product of privilege, and I don't particularly like him because he has gotten shot to the moon for no reason because his daddy's rich and he's got Starbucks money. He breaks news because he pays for scoops.
Oh my God!
And Ian Rappaport, if Ian Rappaport wasn't 5'7", 114, he would have whipped Jordan Schultz's ass.
I didn't know you felt so passionately about the insiders of the NFL.
I got an insider hierarchy,
dude.
dog.
You got strong Diana Rossini takes.
Miss Diana to you.
You got strong takes here about
Josh.
Jordan
Are you
Schultz
surprised
and
at this point? You've been working with me for 4 months, 5 months. I am Strong Takes.
I don't give a.
That's my middle name, Lynnell Strong Take Willingham.
I mean, these are people, though. I mean, you act like you know these people.
I don't know Jordan Schultz. You're right, but perception. I say it all the time. I went to a raggedy-ass Division III football school coached by the worst offensive mind on the East Coast, maybe in North America. The only thing that Bill Garvey taught me is perception is 99% reality. And the perception on Jordan Schultz is he's a Nepo baby and is a byproduct of Starbucks money. That's why none of the real insiders respect him.
Right. Now tell me about how much you love the story about LeBron and Bronny. Just tell me. Again, how great
yeah, I mean,
how much you love Bronny's story, and you don't.
Here's the thing, right?
What about
you can go to mock draft. You can go to a mock draft ahead of the 2024 season, and Jonathan Givony, the lead draft analyst for ESPN, had Bronny as a lottery pick before he had a heart attack before going to USC, pal. I would love for you to try and go down that rabbit hole with me about why Bronny's not deserving of being in the NBA. He's frying in the G League, pal.
No, you're right. No privilege with him.
No privilege at all. They earned that.
None.
He earned that.
That's it.
He was a top high school prospect. He had a heart attack, Josh Graham. Oliver, what does that guy want to say? He made you smile. What did that guy say on the phones? Oh, okay. There's a certain somebody that I'm itching. I want him to call in. There's a certain somebody out there I want him to call. I'm begging him to
Who
call.
cares? The start of the NHL playoffs, I said it would be like Stanley Cup final or bust for the Carolina Hurricanes and the Colorado Avalanche. The Hurricanes became the first team in the 40-year history of this format to win their first 2 best-of-7 series in sweeps. They're 8-0. The Colorado Avalanche beat Minnesota tonight to win that series in 5. They swept the first series. So you have maybe a collision course, unlike anything we've ever seen in hockey. There hadn't been the top seeds in both conferences meet in a Stanley Cup final in 25 years, 2001. There are upsets in that sport like crazy. Colorado is 8-1 in these playoffs. The Canes are 8-0. And you might have an epic collision course in the Stanley Cup final. So how did Colorado win tonight? They were down 3-1 in this game and came back? That's insane. Just figured I'd pass that piece along.
Dude, the thing that got me, did you see the line shift at the end of the third? The end of the second. What a decision.
They tied it up with $1:20 to go. Heartbreak.
What did you think about the line change, though?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, are we talking about like a line change in hockey or the point
spread?
Like
yes,
line?
we're talking about the hockey. What'd you think about the line change and the shift that he decided to go with? If it wasn't for that shift, they probably don't win.
That's a great analysis. Nothing to add.
You're such a jerk, bro. I can't stand you, Josh.
What do we have?
No, the goalie was on his head, though, tonight, bro. It was one of those nights where, all types of twine was tickled.
Cale Makar hit the winner.
Yeah, he tickled the twine, lit the lamp.
4-3, Colorado wins tonight. 8-1 Colorado, 8-0 Carolina Hurricanes. I think I'm going to be joined by a Carolina Hurricanes player this weekend. We'll see who that is later in the week. What do we have and put it to bed?
I stumbled across a story that is bad because the guy went to jail, but I'll tell you why it's somewhat nostalgic next.
Tomorrow night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26. Hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. What's your team's toughest stretch? And where are the wins? We'll tell you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Westwood One Sports Night. Here's Josh Graham and Lynnell Willingham.
If you missed any of tonight's program, you can find it via podcast, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, searching Westwood One Sports Night. Give us a 5-star review. Why? Because you just feel like doing something out of the kindness of your heart.
If you don't, your hooba stank.
A lot of music takes on tonight's show that you can find. YouTube, Westwood One Sports Night. You can find a lot of the video content we have out there. However, and wherever you listen or watch, greatly appreciate that. Another reminder that we're going to be immediately reacted to the full NFL schedule in its entirety. Tomorrow's show, Thursday night show, immediately following Scott Graham, or not immediately following, but soon after, Scott Graham and Mike Golick break it all down between 8 and 10 p.m. on Westwood One Sports. Kevin Harlan, the voice of the Super Bowl for Westwood One Sports, Monday Night Football as well. He will be joining us on Thursday night's program. Let's close things out by putting this show to bed.
All right, I promise you jail and I promise you nostalgia. I got to give you jail before I give you nostalgia. I stumbled across a story. There's a man that's been sentenced to 6 years in prison for distributing meth. That's bad. We don't like it when people distribute meth. Not very nice. Here's where the nostalgia comes and where you're allowed to laugh at this, because this is funny. The meth that he was distributing was in pill form, but the pills were shaped like Mario.
Oh.
Oh. Meth Mario.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. For you to hit a Mamma Mia.
This new rollout for the
Let's
Super
go!
Mario Brothers movie is crazy.
Woo-boo! I never saw that movie.
It is actually pretty good.
It's whatever.
Yeah. I was a big, Super Nintendo kid. I love playing Nintendo. My
Oh.
Game Boy Color, badass.
When I was in Asheville on vacation last week, my brother.
You didn't even tell
was
us
in
about
the
your
house.
vacation, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't think many people were interested. So then my brother, he brought with him from Orlando. He brought this. I don't know what you even call it. It's like a box that has all the Nintendo games on it, regardless. It's universal.
Did he get it off the TikTok shop?
I don't know. So he has it's Super NES. It's
yes.
N64. It's
lit.
you fill in the blank. All the recent games too. So we were playing old school Mario Party and playing, Mario Kart to the most recent thing. And Super
That's my type of
Smash
vacation.
Brothers. It's good. Had a good
That's
time.
lit, bro. I want to get one of those thingies. You should too. We all should.
What game are you most nostalgic about?
Wow. Do they get into the WWE at all? Because, dog, I'm telling you, I broke it. It was gifted to me by my cousin after he had it. When I was first gifted SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, dog. The best wrestling game that's ever been invented. Better than SmackDown versus Raw. Better than 2K. Better than whatever GameCube had. I think GameCube had, like, Revolution or something, like Night of Champions or some garbage. But, yeah, that would be the game. That and early Madden.
Did you ever see the Barbie movie?
What?
You saw the Super Mario movie, it sounded like, but did you ever see the Barbie movie that everybody was talking about a few years ago with Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie?
Never ask me that again.
What's wrong with the Barbie movie?
No, I've not seen the Barbie movie.
He's not single, Josh. A single man is not going to the Barbie movie. That'd be very
disagree.
odd.
That's something you would do as a date.
Me and Will Dalton went together.
Dude, you've thrown Thrill under the bus several times tonight. You told us he drinks out of people's shoes and stuff. Like, you talk about him.
No, he drank
and
a
him.
beer skate. He didn't.
I took it as he drinks beer out of people's shoes.
No, and the Barbie movie's good. And
Did you take your wife?
No, he took Will Dalton. I mean, holy cow.
Well, he could have went.
I would have made your ass sleep on the couch.
I did go twice. I went with my wife. Yeah, I went to the movies a second time, and I went with my wife. It's true.
Who did you go with first? Yeah.
Will.
See, yeah.
Will, and then we went to go see Oppenheimer.
Wait, you didn't answer that clearly. Say it with your chest.
Will.
Who you went to see the movie with first?
Will Dalton. It happened.
Thrill?
Yeah.
That's how you lose your
and then
nickname,
I sang
pal.
from that movie. I sang at karaoke. I'm Just Ken, which was the best song from that movie, and burned the house down.
You know what I
People
need to
were like,
do?
Whoa!
I need to get someone's like HBO Max login so I can watch Euphoria. It's the closest thing I'll get to a Barbie movie is Sydney Sweeney and her Barbies.
What?
Her Barbies. I said Barbies.
She's basically a porn star at this point.
Dog, I think she's like pretending to be on OnlyFans and Euphoria. I got to get it. I got to get HBO Max, dude. Listeners out there, tweet me with your emails. So I can sign up for a free subscription.
Drake Toll, do you have an HBO login? What up? This has been Westwood.
Zaddy have
Sports
one.
Night.
This is Westwood One Sports.